What is?
Go ahead.
That's funny.
What's that?
No, it's my wife's name is up there.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh.
So wait, so for GameScape3d,
Yep.
the name of what's his
Jeremy.
name?
Jeremy.
Okay, you know what? It's funny. Like you know people on you know on here that you know people's handles, but you don't know their names all the time.
Well, I got a nice vid right now. We're going to show while we're waiting for everyone to come on before we go live here with Jeremy. Doing his. Here we go. Right here.
Wow, that's
Miniature Building Authority. Yeah, that was what my first ever sponsor, Miniature Building Authority. Do you know Kirk at all from MBA?
No, I don't think so.
Hi,
yeah.
Welcome back to GameScape3d.
There he is.
Today
That's
we're
the man.
gonna do a
So is Jeremy. He's the guy who makes.
Yeah, he's the man. One man team, one man show. Great sponsor.
Here's the peasant house.
We're actually doing a really great giveaway. Did you get in on his Lighthouse Kickstarter a couple years ago?
I didn't because I didn't have a
printer at the time.
Yeah, I didn't have a printer.
Well, we're giving away an entire set in PS
I have flatboards here for
in files tonight.
And we'll talk about this, but I tell you, my man, like printing has become like a hobby. It's so fun.
It is. It is absolutely. It is. I mean, we have three. We have 2 PLAs and 1 resin. And Jeremy, we're working with him. We're going to pick a new PLA that's going to cut down the time by like 75%.
Yeah.
You know, so
I've been John Gray from Centurion 3D recommended the FlashForge Adventurer 5M.
The filament's supposed to run through.
So that's what I got.
Cool.
Resin doors sometimes.
And it's been good. Yeah, I've been. Jeremy sent me 2 buildings from the Eastlingham, but I've been printing up buildings for it.
Oh, cool, man! Here he comes right now.
Yeah.
Drill bit 5/64.
Hey, there it is. Hey, Jeremy.
The size you need to clean out.
Yeah, he's connecting still.
Those holes.
Fiero, 1982, of course, our pleasure from the raid that we did last night yesterday afternoon, late after the game. Of course, man, no problem. We're going to have a great one on crafting if you're interested. Great show tonight. So just make sure everything's good here. So.
Hey, Jay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I
got to run out to the garage real quick.
No problem. It's Dan Masucci, the Inkdmage.
Yeah. Hey, Dan. How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm loving your stuff, dude.
So we got those holes.
Yeah, I can tell.
He sees it on Instagram.
I appreciate it.
You got a few around out the garage. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Right,
I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time. We got a couple minutes still. So, and we're waiting for Christine Van Patten, the legend.
I'm going to use a pretty good sized brush.
She is a legend.
About getting brown.
Let me set up the giveaway, everyone, while we're waiting here. We're at minimum. Jeremy is.
So there's my brown again.
Jeremy is doing something really awesome. He's going to give away, and I'll show it at the beginning. If you have a 3D printer, he's giving, and he did one during Virtual GrowCon.
Filling in the details.
Oh my God, what am I doing here? I'm multitasking too much.
Some of the black primer
He's going to be giving. By the way, you all can hear me on chat. Please just say yes, so that I'm not talking to myself babbling here. I'm looking here. It looks good. It should be good.
An even coat around
we're going to be giving away the Lighthouse set, which is an awesome one in STL.
I'm gonna just check my wife and see it.
Yeah, please. It's good. We're good.
It's got like a 2-screen setup, but I want
to
use the right camera.
Hey, Stacy. Don't just paint the face of these things, because you're not going to be coming back later to hit these sides. This is kind of
when I go to camera,
last time they should be getting painted unless you absolutely have to come back in to do a little touch up.
And it's like integrated camera.
I'll be maximizing. Hello, nice to meet you.
This is my wife, Stacy.
Hi.
Just kind of
Hi.
going at it.
Yeah, for some reason it's not showing up on this.
Huh.
So I don't know why.
All right. Well, I may then just
Color
move
off of
the
plaster
Yeah.
full
parts,
screen of it.
or to apply this wood color to the plaster parts with
Okay.
any
Is it showing up?
particular
No.
intention. And I might
And it wouldn't be under
glaze all these
advanced.
and let some
I
of
don't
those
think so.
black
Should be under camera.
timber lines come
Let
through.
me see with Christine.
You know, kind of dry brush it a little bit as opposed to like a straight paint
Okay.
job.
Try it
I
now.
might do it both ways. Sometimes I might saturate it a little bit, and sometimes I might just kind of hit the tops and move
Try
along.
going down here.
Did.
Variation is really the key. You want to paint badly differently.
Of course, mythical. You know, hang out as long as you can. No biggie.
So you want to
No big
avoid
deal at all.
painting
So, hang
the
on.
same way.
I want
The key
I
is
wanna-
really
I wanna
different
make this
amounts of
small. Just hit
pigment
this
in
button.
different areas, and that'll kind of create a little bit of
And
your
then-
shimmer
Move it over here
in the end.
Yeah. Let me try.
so that you're looking.
Yeah. How do I grab it? Oh, okay, there.
So finish that.
There.
And now if you
Yeah.
click that, it'll bring it.
Okay. There. That's better. It's not perfect, but it's
So no big
better.
Deal there, huh? It's
Oh,
about
that's
2
not-
minutes or so, maybe 3.
Okay.
We are
Bill
done
and Master
with the first
Crafter's
part
son's
here.
hockey game got switched from 11 a.m. to
Okay,
7
we're gonna
p.m.
let
So
that
he's
go.
gonna be running late, but he'll be here.
We're
I'll
gonna
be here a
go
little
over to
late.
the roof now.
Jeremy, where are you
When
from?
we come back, we'll do the inside.
You're
I think the
muted.
ground
Can't hear you.
too, that's
Can't hear you.
pretty similar color. It's not going to hurt anything.
So Jeremy's the one who made that.
I'm not particularly
Eastland Ham
particularly
and the
certain
apocalyptic
it matters if I do
mutes.
the ground after the walls or
Suffer from
before,
printing.
since I'm going to be, you know, putting dirt down as well. But I'm just going to
No,
put down
that's
a
fine.
quick coat of this mustard brown yellow.
Let me see about Puff
So
Smedger.
it'll be a
Good, Jeremy. Can I hear you? Talk.
nice little backdrop for the dirt.
What happened?
How did I lose you now? I can't hear your voice, Jeremy.
Again,
Yeah,
don't
keep it
worry about applying an even coat
All right.
or even being
That's good,
careful
Daryl.
and not worried about
It's no
hitting
big deal.
walls. Okay.
Kind of.
Well, not for me tonight.
Another
Jeremy's
thing is
having,
when you put
headset
that
issues.
wash in there, that's going to go, you know, the way I modeled this, it's going to go straight into those corners. So even if your corners aren't perfect, they're going to get.
Sometimes,
filled
hey, Gary
up with
Con,
the
I'm
wash.
sorry. We're
A
getting
little
stuff
bit.
set up. I didn't even
So
see you
you'll-
right in. I
you'll
really
have a little
appreciate
bit
it.
of
Let me shout you out and
grace
shout
there.
Garner out both.
Okay.
Garner's channel and Gary Con Live. Yes, great giveaways tonight. All right, so hang in there. Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead
Especially if you got a 3D printer, I will be giving away some Troller Game gift certificates too. Here comes
Take a look.
Christine.
Again, we don't
So, who wants to be
put
bottom
the
road?
moving
Because I always
coat.
put the ladies up top.
kind of just want
Well,
to.
there we go. Jeremy's trying. Hey, Christine.
Hey,
How are you?
Doesn't come through. I'm just going to use a big.
I'm
brush.
alive.
That's good. I know you have COVID too. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't use a tiny brush. Use a big
So
brush.
this is Dan Masucci, the Inkdmage. So
Ah,
you may have seen his stuff on Instagram. So,
There.
Busker's
that
in
better?
here.
yep, you're good, man. I can hear you clearly.
All right. I'll just keep my earbuds on and won't take them out again.
Yeah, so we're going to take quite technical questions, in particular 3D printer questions all day long, because I know a lot of these guys know a lot more than I do. Jeremy, Bill, the Mastercraft, and I had a big meeting about it a week or two ago. So it's exclamation drawing mythical. So and this is Jeremy's speed paint. So yes, that's it. Beer in a way too, dude. That's awesome. Just like a Gary Con.
Oh, so I was asking Jeremy, where are you from?
Oh, I grew up halfway between Chicago and Rockford in northern Illinois.
Okay.
And then before that, when I was younger, up to about 12 years old, I lived in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Oh, right
It
on.
was affordable for normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Now he's-
kind of,
Now he's in Kentucky.
yeah. Have you found that? I guess you found that stuff easy to paint.
Yes, but I mean, listen, the things that I've been printing are, really like easy. Like the ruins, I print with the black filament. I do a dark gray, and then I dry brush a concrete gray, and then I add some flocking and stuff. I mean, it was for the apocalyptic. I did, it was like kind of a brown, a little bit of red in it, dry brushed it tan, and then dry brushed in places with like a golden sunset color.
So you're doing like a 1.5 coat speed paint on those things.
Dude, table ready is what I'm about. I don't.
Man, they look great.
Yeah, thank you.
They look better than my speed paints, and I do at least one more coat than
It's
that.
weird.
Yeah.
The title didn't come up.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I appreciated your comment about the playability of it compared to printable scenery. Because I don't know.
And
It's
there's some good companies out there.
Thank you.
With great designs and stuff. But I'm running a Dragonlance game, and so I knew I needed ruins, and just the fact that like I could print your stuff without having it in a lot of pieces, like the things that could just like be printed. And I think the biggest that like for those apocalyptic dudes, the one with the stairs, like I just squeezed it in on one of its axes, just a small percentage, so I could do it in one shot. And it's still huge. It's massive. Those things are massive. But they're so beautiful.
Jeremy don't go small.
Yeah.
He don't go small, man.
I know. I see my friend Tom Mountain, aka D&D Terrain Builds, with the whole large mountain piece printed out.
Yeah, the cliffs. Yeah.
We're going to have a blast of this discussion, everyone. We're live now. Try printing the cliffs. I've done about 8 wide pieces so far. That's right, Mike, and you got enough printers to do it. So, Bill Mastercraft was running late. His son's hockey game got switched from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Of course, right? No. Yeah, because of the playoff structure or whatever. But he'll be on as soon as he can. So, we're going to introduce everyone. We got Jeremy from GameScape3d. We got the Inkdmage Dan Masucci on, and we also have the legendary Christine Van Patten Moonlight Middies. But let's have them all introduce each other. We'll just start ladies first. Christine, thanks for coming on. I know you're a little under the weather, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it always happens right at the worst times, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Definitely.
But I'm Christine Van Patten. I am the creator and sculptor behind Moonlight Minis, but I also work for companies like Reaper, Darksword, and a bunch of other Kickstarters and stuff like that. So you probably know my work elsewhere more than from my own line. Actually, lately I've been doing some collaborative stuff with Felicia Day on her Things channel. So that's been super fun. Getting to do the guild character.
Yes. Yes, and we will show and share that. I guarantee it. Some wonderful stuff, and I always love having you on. As Moonlight Middies is a member of the Greyhawk stream team as well. So whenever Christine's on, please go and watch her do her thing with her programming, and just unbelievable. And I got some surprises coming up too with some of the things that we're going to be using. But it's Christine's coming up early next year. So and it's always a pleasure to have you back. So thank you.
I know, it's been so long.
Yeah, it has been. It's actually been a year since we did one of these. It's actually been a year. And unfortunately, Darling couldn't be on tonight either because she's got a special game that starts tonight. We'll raid into her when we're done, though. So, the man, the myth, the legend, Jeremy Gosser there, GameScape. Welcome, man.
Yes, you think much more of me than I do of myself. Thank you.
Come on, man. So, Jeremy has come a long way, right? One-man show.
Yeah, one-man show, doing terrain. I've been trying to branch out, get more involved in the community. I guess that's where most of my focus has been. Right now I'm doing a set of peasant huts, setting up kind of a knight's estate is what I've been working on. I had one of my subscribers was interested in Harn, and I kind of like that, like Edge of the Dark Age into the Middle Age kind of stuff myself. So I've been working on some, kind of early medieval manor houses. And then this next month I'll be moving into dimensional rivers, which is something I've been sitting on for like 4 or 5 years. But I did a poll, and that seemed to be the thing people were most interested in after doing the cliffs. So we'll
What
see.
is that? What is dimensional rivers?
What it's going to be is like I'll build the river ledge up, and then there'll be like a cut, and that cut would like either sit on top. There's a couple of options. So it'll sit on top either 2-inch foam, or it'll be designed for any kind of 1/4-inch material you want to use to slide in there. And then the top of the riverbank will kind of slap it down. So that way you can have like a I'm going to start out with 2 inches and see what people's actual appetite is for this stuff. But then there would be like a 2-inch bank going down, and it would cut across. It's an idea I kind of ignored for a while because I developed it and I thought people aren't ready for this, and I'm sick of like doing things that people aren't ready for.
No, I can't wait.
And
That
No,
sounds really cool.
yeah,
and then
absolutely.
about a year ago, somebody ran a Kickstarter with like a goalie that worked the same way.
Yeah,
It was a little more simplified, where the integration of the surface, like it was basically U-shaped and then onto the bank, so it was all like one piece. And they did okay on the Kickstarter. I think they made a decent amount for what it was, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll pull this back out again. And
If it was,
so
if it's a
I'll be
wide
doing.
river,
yeah.
Well, the idea is you can do it any way you want. You can have like a narrow river or a wide river, and then you can have like an integrated, an actual dimensional like water wheel type thing that like goes down instead of just sort of sitting on the surface.
Oh, that
And
makes
I'm going to do
cool.
some AI art river pieces that people can do whatever they want with as well. So they can sort of print those out and have like kind of white water or calm water. We'll see how it goes.
Excellent.
But anyways, that's what I'm doing going into the next month. And I have a full, I'm babbling.
That's all right,
Talk
Jeremy.
enough.
I'm used to it. It's all good, man. It's good. Look what's right below me right now. This monstrosity. See, we got a lot of big things coming, and we'll talk about all of it. And then last Dan Masucci's been on twice. We had him 1-on-1, and we had you in a DM's roundtable.
yes.
Yes. So it's welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Dan Masucci. I live about 3 hours north of New York City. I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for like 37 years. It's my favorite game. I'm the dungeon master your mother warned you about, and
Yes,
and an unpublished author. But that's not true. Actually, I did have some work published with Nord Games, Spectacular Settlements, but I am still shopping around my novel. That's what I'm up to lately, other than running my weekly ongoing Dungeons and Dragons campaign. It's been 14 years with the same crew.
that's
Weekly.
awesome.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
And I have recently discovered I have 3D printing and capability now. And so I've been really excited about being able to print some of Jeremy's stuff, which has been beautiful. And I have also just finished printing up a bunch of the Eastlingham village that he was talking about earlier. And I can tell you this, it's incredible. There's playable space. And that's the ruins. The ruins so good. It's nice and modular. You can make a sprawling setup. There's plenty of Z-axis capability, and just like thoughtful pieces, like the ruin foundation pieces. So maybe if you're printing and you don't want to spend a lot of money on filament, you can print some of the bigger pieces, but then print like those foundation pieces, which are relatively quick and really terrific to look at, and they just scatter them around. Lots of great stuff. I'm really enjoying the GameScape3d stuff.
It's an honor to have Jeremy as a partner, and this is like and here's some of my pictures of. Let me throw this over here. Added with stuff that I did. This is from Virtual GrapCon. So this is that set with some changes, and this is part. I tied this in with William Henry Dvorak's Lost City of the Soul, which he's writing. Got an advanced copy of it and did some some minor editing because it's got a lot of 5e in it. But yeah, and then I added my own touches to it, and we just scratched the surface of it, and there a lot of that. Yeah, it's really awesome stuff. The same things, just a little different take on what you have on the table. Shows you that no matter what you get from a 3D print company and you print out, it's always the setups are endless.
Yeah, and your print job is your paint job, I should say, looks nicer than mine. I go table
no,
ready.
it doesn't. Like go back to dance. Like
sure.
He did that. He was telling me before we started that he did that. That's he's got a different 1.5 coats. That's
right.
1.5 coats off of
it's got it looks limestone. It looks like limestone on yours.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Let me see if I can get
mine's like at least 1.5 more coats than that. So I mean that's incredible for like
some
a
blow ups on that. Yeah.
paint job off of filament.
Yeah. For anybody watching, what I said was I do I print in black filament. I dark gray base coat. And then I would dry brush concrete gray, and then I would add a little. I've been calling it Italian seasoning for terrain people, because it's just like it's the grass flocking that comes in like a giant oregano container. So hey, my last name is Masucci, so
yeah,
Italian seasoning for terrain,
and it works. So this is everything, I think, right in one set, right? Because you got all the upper levels here and all, except for the walls.
No, that isn't everything I printed, because I printed. What I did was I printed enough stuff to fill out a 6x4 mat.
Oh, okay, cool.
From Monster Fight Club. That's a 3x3 mat from Cigar Box Battles.
Got it.
But that's a smaller setup.
Okay. But still, it's nice, man. Really, nice stuff.
It's still huge.
Really nice. So, I want to ask some questions here, and that is, since we've done this a year ago, what has changed in the industry? Okay, how's that for the first question? What has changed over the last year? So, Christine, what are your thoughts on that? Just in the last year alone.
Well, that's a good question. I mean, obviously we're seeing a lot more AI coming into play,
right?
Both in like written format, but then also in visual format. And I think different creators are kind of using it or not using it in a very different way. Either they're completely just like, I don't want anything to do with it, or they're integrating it at different points in the process.
Okay.
And I think that's really interesting and fun to see, just where it comes into play in a creator's process and how they're creatively using that tool to further their development.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, that's been kind of like a big shift this year, I think.
Do you feel the taboo that a lot of people are putting on 3D AI out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I totally understand it, and I was around for like the whole Photoshop is cheating nonsense. Like I was there for that the first time around, and it feels like a lot of the same kind of rhetoric this time around.
Right.
But obviously with the added component of like stolen IP, right? Like that wasn't around in Photoshop as much, because people would still, grab different people's artwork and put them together and then call it their own artwork in Photoshop, and it was kind of the same thing. But Photoshop you could just use it by itself as a painting program, and people didn't really understand that at first, I think. So I think it's a very similar thing. I think trying to avoid it at this point is kind of silly. it's going to be integrated. We've already seen it being integrated, even by the big companies like Wizards. They're
Right.
already using it. Disney's already using it. Lots and lots of media companies are integrating it in their process. So I think avoiding it altogether is not going to be sustainable.
Okay.
But finding how to use it ethically and constructively will be kind of the name of the game going forward.
Great points. And keeping the artists involved too, right? And
Yeah.
just making sure that they get their piece of the pie. So great,
Yeah.
great one. So Jeremy, I think I know where you'll go with this answer, right? The speed of
Oh,
3D print speed.
yeah, I appreciate Christine going first and saying all that stuff. Yeah, I think people are pretty defensive about AI art, and I think it's relevant to be defensive. I actually did a little digging. I went on sort of the DMs Guild, and there's a lot of crappy AI art on the covers. And, I think the direction to go is talking about artist integrated AI, like hiring artists in a way where they're kind of acting like an art director over the whole thing so they can sort of, maybe do the fancy cover that you need to pay a lot for. But then maybe they're using the AI to kind of skip some steps and do some work for themselves to do like interior illustrations and stuff.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of a way to go. I find the community's hostility toward it kind of irrelevant and kind of undercutting, because we have these people who work very hard to create content for the community, and then they're insisting that they use real art. And a lot of the times that level of illustration isn't real great because, really great illustrators are not going to be working in this field because it doesn't pay enough. There's just not enough money there, and you
Sure,
can't
it's tough.
compete.
Yep.
You can't compete with video poker, for one example, and what they're willing to pay. So you have these people who come up and they work at it and they do a couple of maybe pulp fiction novel covers, fantasy things, and they get swept up into another industry after they sort of build up. And there certainly is an interest in people who want to do work like the old D&D artists, but it's like
Right. Yeah,
there's
that's true.
even guilds, where they all kind of like paint in this way, where they have the backgrounds and everything. But then, as soon as they get a couple of novel covers, they get swept up into something else, and there's got to be something there. There's got to be some middle ground there to make it financially viable for these talented people to stick around and make art in the community. And, without some compromise, I just don't see it happening. And uh, is it okay if I go on a little bit more?
Sure, man.
Okay. I think the main thing to understand is when people do this stuff, they're doing like illustration. Okay. We use this word art very loosely, like it's still the 16th century or something. And
Agreed.
it's important to understand when you're doing illustration, the whole idea behind it is that you're kind of being trained to make art in a group where a whole bunch of people are making art the same way. So you can work in a team. And that's what like modern illustration is in the academic sense of the word. So, the whole idea is, and you can see this like in fourth edition, you really see a jump forward, even though it's not a very popular edition artistically, it's very artistically cohesive. Okay. Everyone's kind of making the artwork the same way, even though there's like 20 or 25 illustrators on the inside of the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And you go through it and they all kind of look like they're the same person. Okay. As opposed to like 3.0, 3.5 didn't really have that so much, but the next edition really kind of had that cohesiveness. and that homogeneous art style that kind of like you see spread throughout fantasy art. And so, I mean, the main point is that these people can sort of work in one style one day and they can work in another style the next day cohesively.
Right.
And in a way, illustrators are trained to be the original AI artists. Okay.
Right.
They're there to appropriate other art and like turn it into a commercial commodity. So I think when you get into these people, when you get this complaining, I think you have two things going on. I think you have writers who are paranoid about not showing solidarity with artists on this issue, and I get that. But then on the weaker side, I think you just have mediocre artists who are kind of keeping out of the breadlines.
Okay.
And it's not our problem, really. It's not my problem. It's an artist who knows their worth is not going to be threatened by AI. That thing has a long ways to go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are some of my main points. The last point I would make is no matter what happens in art, technology is always going to be the driving force in art. Okay. So, we talk about, Christine talked about the effects of Photoshop and how that affected people. We can go back even farther to the development of photography and how that was going to be the end of illustration.
Yeah.
Well, it took like 100 years for that to happen. Okay. Photography canceled out illustration in like the 70s. Okay. And it didn't last long because 3D modeling came along and knocked out photography. And people might not know this, but when you see like a car commercial a lot of times or a motorcycle commercial, that's like all 3D animation. Like they did not mail motorcycles somewhere to like film a commercial. So and that actually led to lifting illustration back up and creating an opening. So technology is constantly going to be changing, and it's going to give and it's going to take away. There, done.
I think that's the most I ever heard you talk in once. That was awesome. I appreciate it, man. Well, as you can see, we're having fun.
Asked me something about I was passionate about.
And thank you for the hype train. We get over level 3 hype train. I'll give an extra gift certificate to Troller Games out. All right, just so you know, we got 2 giveaways right now. So let me do that real quick, and then Dan can answer this question. But I want to share this with you because Jeremy was kind enough to. This was, if you did not get in on this Kickstarter a while back, here it is, the Lighthouse. This thing is awesome. So the Lighthouse in all its glory. Dan, you can get into. Everyone get an exclamation point drawing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a real fun giveaway for everyone. And then at least one gift certificate for Troller Games.
People think I have every type of terrain situation, and the Lighthouse is something I don't actually have.
There you go, man. It's awesome too. And I'm going to be probably bringing it out on my for next week, and I got stream Thursday, RPG Thursday and Saturday.
I remember Jay's tabletop showcasing it back then, and it was it's impressive.
Yep, absolutely. So, Dan, what are your thoughts on that? What's changed over the last year?
So what's changed is, I don't have a, classical illustrator or artist background, or even working with 3D modeling, but I come from a filmmaking background, and I remember the explosion of the digital age, and what that did was it leveled the playing field. And what it meant, well, the great thing was that it meant that anybody with a story could tell it visually through making a film. And the trouble with that technology was that everybody who could tell a story So you were inundated with so much stuff. It created these massive slush piles, and it wasn't always, it's not always easy for the wheat to be separated from the chaff. And I imagine that there's, that's also the case, you know, in the gaming community in terms of, I mean, I've seen, you know, more people producing 3D models, and some are fantastic, like Jeremy's, right? And some are not so fantastic. But it's created sort of this kind of big tent gaming environment for people to be able to, you know, for me, I want to. I have funny gamers. You know, I joke if I put down a miniature that isn't what it's supposed to
I
be.
know. They go, well, you can't use
They
it.
go. They're like,
Oh,
oh my gosh, my immersion's broken. You know, this is.
I get it
You
all the
don't think
time.
much of us, do you, Dan? Do you? So, you know, I try to create, you know, really immersive stories at the table
Yeah.
and immersive setup. So I like to have terrain that really captures their
Yep.
imagination, and so that's really something tremendous. I come from Theater of the Mind originally, and then in the early 2000s I remember D&D putting out their double-sided cardstock tiles, which I still use occasionally. I love them. And I remember downloading PDFs and cutting them out to tape together maps. And I thought that was amazing. But as 3D terrain really increased, and then, you know, and now that I have a printer, I'm blown away. The sky's the limit. And so I think it's a good thing.
Absolutely. And you and I are like cut out of the same mold where
Yeah.
we want it like I get frustrated when like there's some offbeat, bizarre monster. There was just one a couple weeks ago. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, I got to use this, and they're gonna give me shit. They're going to. I know they are because because they do that all the time. Yeah. Yeah, cardstock was that second edition era with the Falcon series and all those, and the battle system and all that. They started bringing out a lot of chits and a lot of cardstock. It was before. What's up there, Garner? Yeah, it was a cool time. So Christine, when did you go from making sculpts for companies and decided I'm going to make the sculpt and I'm going to print it myself? 2 years ago? 3 years? 2.5? 3?
I think it's about 3 years ago now, 2021. Was it 5 years ago? Really? My husband says 5 years
It's
ago.
how the time flies. Yeah.
Well, that's when we got our first printer. We hadn't started Moonlight Minis yet, but that was when I first started printing my own minis and trying to like see what I could make digitally and what I could make come out of the printer in real life. And that took a lot of trial and error. A lot.
Right. Understood. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I think we started Moonlight Minis in 2021.
Okay. Yeah, so it's been a great time. And I know that, you know, we've utilized a lot of them. So that is how you supplemented you're doing sculpting for other people, right? You created your own network and stuff. Yeah. So
well, I started like, I would, you know, obviously there's the type of commissions that would like, they would ask me for something that they needed, and then I would sculpt it and give it back to them. But that only comes around so often when they actually need something specific from me. And so in the downtime, I would start making my own stuff, and then I'd try to shop it around, you know, like, hey, do you want to buy this cool thing that I made? I started doing that, and I got a whole bunch of people that were like, this is super cool, and I really love it, but it doesn't fit our style. It doesn't fit in our line. It doesn't match our stuff. And they were like, I really like your style. It's just, you know, it's not Reaver. It's not, you know, Darksword. So I was like, okay, well, if I have my own style, then maybe I just need my own line.
Absolutely. So let me go to your Instagram here. 100%. So I love the style. Absolutely do. And this is the one that's out right now, right? October's release is still available,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's October's release.
Just click on me and maximize my picture, Dan, and Zoom. Just maximize me, and then it'll. Yes, and if I want to highlight one of you, that's what I'll do for you. I'll maximize you.
Okay,
yeah, and that'll get you a little bigger in there. Yes, so Moonlight Minis and some wonderful stuff. Another Halloween. So the Halloween one last year, the Wicker ones, we had a whole Wicker themed Halloween. I skipped the Overgord last year for that and did that. And that was a fun one. And also I used your witch from that. Let me see if I have that picture too. I think I should. Adventure number 1000.
Yeah, Cornelia.
Let me see here. 1075. I should be ready.
Yeah, that was the sequel because the first one was the Cornhusk dollies, and
yes,
Cornelia was like a live witch, and then the Wicker Man was like a sequel to that, and Cornelia had been turned into like a fire lich.
Here we go.
So that was kind of cool to do the same character like 2 different ways.
There you go. There. So I want to show this piece. I want to show this piece because this piece here has your mini, Jeremy's hut in 3D printed, and Bill and Master Crafter's personal buildup of this all in one piece, right? So there you go. And plus a plastic little cat. Yeah, so, yep. Guy, Christine Van Patten, how's it feel to be so talented and attractive? Nice. Nice. That's cool. Yes, she is talented. Extreme. So, we will always use everything we can to build the immersement of the game. And so this came off of what we did on yesterday, on the stream yesterday, and we did do an Overgord. We did do an Overgord one, the Reaper Mini Overgord, which is still not available for sale, which is crazy. But
what?
It's not
Really?
No, it's not outside of Bones 5. If you didn't get it in Bones 5, you got to find someone who will sell you one. They never put it up for sale. Yeah. So, and then if you just look here, this is a lot of this. This is Jeremy's roads with Miniature Building Authority. That's all Miniature Building Authority.
Dirt roads. They're the low profile dirt roads.
Yes, absolutely.
Those are so.
No, he's got the higher ones.
Yeah, I got the ones that are a little higher. They came from the road Kickstarter he did about 4 or 5 years ago.
I've been using the low profile dirt ones, like just tremendous.
Here, that's a better one showing the little town. That's all Miniature Building Authority buildings for this one. It just fit. It works. So then you got the custom, all the this in the background, the corn rows. That's all Bill's stuff, custom done. So just wonderful things from him. But
Bill just brings all that terrain to life. I mean, the terrain is like gorgeous all on its own. I'm always shocked at how much he's even able to make, but Bill just brings it all to life.
I have him chained in the basement. Like I said, he's really upset. He had to be late, but his son's a game. He had, he's a coach, so he had to go to it. So, but just to show some of the things that are tying in all the piecework of your miniatures, and then like this here. So this set here, and I told you that on the screen, we're going to utilize a couple of these for our new first levels we do in probably right around GaryCon time. Because, I only have 28 active adventuring groups, Dan. Only 28, right? So
you need to make it at even 30.
Get on this. I'm so lazy.
So I need another one. And we need new first for Altamira. Oh, God. Oh shoot, where is it? I don't even know where my own writing is. All right, well, I don't know where it is. Sorry, but I got 2 things I've published, Dan. So and another one being worked on right now as we speak. Actually, 2.
Tremendous.
Hey, darling. Sorry, you can't make it today. We miss you here. All right, so good answers to that first question.
Hey, Jay, can I ask Christina a trade question?
Of course, yeah. This is it. Bounce them around, man. Go for it.
I saw you advertising the Thangs site. Have you been working with them and transferring everything over to there? Or was it just kind of a one-off thing?
We did start an account on Thangs and upload. I think our whole library is there now.
Oh, really? How much work was that? Did you have to do it all, or did they facilitate that, or what?
We had to do it all. They have a supposedly assisted upload system, but it's very, very glitchy. So it took us like a couple of months to get everything up there and listed properly and everything.
Ah.
That was a task. But we're still on My Mini Factory. We do both now.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Have you found the thanks thing to be worth it, or is it still too early yet?
It's honestly a little too early right
Yeah,
now. It
okay.
doesn't have the foot traffic. And then
Right.
but if you're into FDM, that is the place to go. It's not really,
Yeah.
people aren't really going there for like character minis or like resin
Okay.
printed stuff, but
Really?
it's really the home of FDM.
Okay.
They've
Yeah.
got a lot of cool FDM stuff, and the community of FDM there is like way bigger than on My Mini Factory.
Okay.
Interesting. I would have never thought of that. Huh.
Well, thanks for sharing. I've had like student workers and people in the lab I run like kind of mention it. Like they reached out to me and I'm just like, whatever, I don't have time for this. Because of what you said about having to reload everything up.
Yeah.
But then I've started hearing, if college kids are like sort of dropping the name, I was kind of inclined to investigate a little bit more.
There it is. Thank you for that link there, Christine. Thank you. Thanks. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, it's different than Thingiverse. My apologies.
It's okay.
Yep. I did not know that. The Thingiverse has a lot of free stuff on it, and then
yeah, that's a different thing.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, that's called that's a shit show. Thanks is something else.
I was looking for a polite way to say that, but
well, let Jeremy say it. So,
yeah, let me take the hits.
So all right, tying into that, the biggest change in the last year. What are you most excited for that you just recently did, or that you may be doing soon? How's that? Dan, you want to go first on that?
Well, I'm not making any projects, so I'm running games, right? I'm running Dragon
You and me are the same person, right?
But I'll tell you this, since we're so much alike, you've got to understand this, appreciate this too, is you get into a campaign and you're enjoying it, but like your mind starts wandering to what's next.
Dude, always.
And I've wanted to do an all drow Menzo Baranzan campaign for a while.
Oh, wow.
Where the characters are from one of the houses, and it just so happens there's this company, maybe you've heard of them, that produces these amazing drow 3D prints. Yeah, that's right. So, and Jeremy has those. So I'm looking forward to, in maybe another 6 to 8 months, starting that, which gives me plenty of time to print. So that's the big thing that I'm looking forward to in terms of the gaming community and
right.
what I do. I'm so excited to see these products and and which ones I can use, and I like sharing that information. I'm somebody, like, if I read a good book, if I eat a good meal, I like to share it. I can't shill if I don't, I just, like, if I don't like something, I've had people ask, hey, can we send this to you? And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. That's very kind of you. That's not for me though.
Right.
So if you hear me or see on my page and I'm sharing products, it's because I use them, I believe in them, and I think they would work well on anybody's table. So I'm definitely looking forward to diving into some Underdark printing.
Okay, so now I get to bash you a bit here, in a good way.
Oh.
In a good way, Dan. So, Visions of Greyhawk 4 is going to be out any day. Guess what its title is? Underdark. Over 100 pages of articles from people like Eric Boyd, Roger Moore, legends of the game.
Yeah.
So, my suggestion to you, because I hate Menzo Barons, and sorry, Ed, you're my great friend of mine, but sorry. Use Aurel-Hai Sinlu and use D3 and do Underdark and Greyhawk with this publication, and you're gold, man.
Yeah.
So I'll help you. I'll help you make that Underdark one a Greyhawk one if you want.
All right. Let's further.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's going to be that publication is going to be out almost any day now. Prof, I don't hate Menzo. I just love Greyhawks Underdark. You've always how many times at Prof have you seen D3 is the Underdark setting for Greyhawk? It is, I mean for all. It's got great dark elves, all that stuff in it.
What
So,
separates Greyhawk's Underdark from Forgotten Realms?
okay. The Dark Elves are more realistic in Greyhawk. They're not all Drizzt and run around with 2 weapons, slicing and dicing, all with 18, 19 decks. They fight weapon and buckler. They fight, they have it's much more the gritty old school D&D, and I will be able to share that with you as we talk in the next couple months. Just to
cool.
Yeah. So that's it. But that Underdark thing is going to be great. By the way, I'm linking this. So please, everyone, and counting everyone on the panel here, that's Cannibal Publishing's some modules. They're all free downloads. Please do download my Free City of Altamira teaser guide for Troller Games. 20 pages of my city, coming out. It's a free download, so there it is. There's the link for that, and I'll give you some things of, what's going on in my campaign too. So great one though. I love it. Oh, another thing, Malden, if you know Dennis Tetro, he has the entire levels of all, Night Below, the box set?
Yeah.
He's got it all the levels for it mapped out. Everything placed. Wow. Everything placed from Night Below to D3 is on his website. It's genius. So I'll get with you on that.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool.
Christine or Jeremy, what are you looking forward to, or what you were so proud of that just recently happened?
Well, first of all, did you know I sculpted a whole bunch of Drow characters?
Where are they on your site, and how far back are they? And let's go to them. That sounds awesome.
I actually sculpted them for a company called Tomb Guardians. They did a whole Kickstarter for them.
Yes, absolutely.
And I sculpted I don't even know, 20 Drow and a big acid dragon thing for them.
I was part of that Kickstarter, and I have them.
It was a while ago, but they're out there.
They're really nice. They're really nice, but they printed them all out in 25 millimeter, not 28 heroic or 25 heroic. They're too small.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
That wasn't on me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually gifted them to someone in the community, all those minis, because I was like, they don't make this. You remember the old Ralph Parthas and all that are a little smaller than the rest of them. That's what they're all that size. And with new minis, we want the ones the 28 heroic scale.
They didn't sell the digitals.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that I know of.
Oh, jeez.
No.
I know that.
I'll get with Cass and ask him.
Yeah, Cass, I think, just got a printer, so he might be thinking about doing the digital files because he has them all, obviously. So I don't know if he's going to release them now, but as far as I know, they're just the physicals.
So
can you print? It's more advisable to print minis with resin printer than
just for more detail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
It's funny because I haven't, I'm so new to doing the printing. It's mostly been terrain, but I had a friend who got a Hero Forge mini for his character and was like, well, could you print it? And so I sliced it and I was like, oh, it was going to be 15 minutes. And, and I just put it on. I didn't do supports or anything. And so it was just kind of a crude base with black angel hair everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, okay. I guess there's a little bit of a learning curve here.
So watch this, Jeremy. What resin printer should he get?
None of them. It's
not. No, I'm not gonna.
No, not a single one.
Well, I mean, there's plenty that are fine, but I mean, if you don't want sticky shit all over your basement, I would just stick with the FDM and tell them to get that shit printed somewhere else. But if you do, I mean, there's plenty of fine printers. Just go with. I personally lean a little bit towards more Elegoo, even though I have 2 Anycubic resin printers in my garage. I got Elegoos up at work, and they're pretty solid. I mean, you can get a Mars 5 that'll print minis for $170.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if You know, Dan continues to like my stuff. I could just send him one.
He would really like you then, Dan, because he sent us printers before. Jeremy's a very kind guy and a great sponsor. So yeah.
Well, I'll be dead soon, so my mask
Oh,
won't get the bad at people.
listen to you, man. You're not going anywhere. You got such a big time at GaryCon coming up. Yeah, relatively. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm not like Christine here, who has to figure out how to reinvent herself at least one or two more times as the technology advances.
That's so true. But it's going to.
I'm just kind of hit at the right time, and then I'm out. You know.
So I'm going to see, because Cass, I talked to him many times. He wanted to sponsor me, and I'm like, I can't. I got Reaper, and just I said to him, they're too small. But I'll see if I can get the STLs off him, maybe even if he charges us, because get a bunch of Dark Elves. So we'll see.
Yeah, he might do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To answer your question though, the project I'm most kind of excited about that I've been working on is so we did all the guild characters and all the Axis of Anarchy characters for Felicia Day. And then after we got done with that, she was like, I want to start doing tarot, like the major arcana, reimagined as D&D adventurers.
Nice.
And that whole idea was just like so cool. And she's such a great collaborator, because it can be kind of tricky to find someone that lets you have enough free reign to have like creative input and like not feel constrained too much, but also give enough feedback to where it feels like a group thing and that they're happy with it and you're happy with it. But it's been so fun to collaborate with her. And so we've been working on some new tarot inspired characters, and that's been super awesome.
And
is she American?
Oh yeah, she was on like a dozen episodes of Supernatural. Jeremy, come on, man.
Oh, I don't, dude. I'm like up my own ass all the time.
So she started the guild, which was a spoof on World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and Geek and Sundry was her channel till she sold it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she started Critical Role. Like she did that whole thing before she sold the company.
Nice. Yeah.
And you said these are painted by Cara Curley, right? There, Christine, on these. These are actually your minis.
Yeah, those are my minis.
Yep.
Felicia has them. They're all painted by Cara Curley, who's in chat right now.
Oh, cool. What's her name?
I Draw Caroline.
Oh my gosh! Welcome.
Yeah. Oh, she's a fantastic painter, but she's been doing all the paint jobs for Felicia's stuff for her channel.
Oh, that's so wonderful! It's great to see you here. Thank you. Really, really looking forward to more stuff coming out. So yeah, that's wonderful. So you have more in collab with her. It sounds like.
Yes.
That's great.
We got lots more stuff, and that's just like the beginning. She's got a whole spreadsheet of things she wants to do projects for, and that's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, did you answer this question?
No, I was waiting for the next one.
What you looking forward to?
Yeah.
He's looking forward.
Can I answer for you?
Sure. Yeah.
I am looking forward. This is Jeremy talking with the beer up in his hand. I am looking forward to GaryCon because I am an official sponsor of the con this year. Yes. So GameScape3d is an official sponsor, and I'm going to be right on site with a room. And Bill and you are going. Bill the Master Crafter, the first time he's going. Yes. So yep. There you go.
It's true. I'm so successful. I can pay people to pretend to like me.
That's not
so.
No, dude, come on, man. All I'll say is this. I'll say this.
It's not like a complete insult.
It's been a fun time, and just remember Wednesday night last year. That's all I got. This year actually at GaryCon. Just remember that night. You saw me acting like a complete idiot, so that made your time. That made your time there, right?
Oh no, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. It's actually a compliment. I mean, how many artists are like doing so well that they can, do something like that? So
yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like I'm not really, it is what it is. And it's nice to be in this position, and it probably won't last, but it's nice while it's here.
It will
When is
last.
GaryCon? Is that spring?
Yes, it's like the third
Yeah.
weekend in March. So
Mm.
yeah, and we got like we had 50 people from the community there last year at
Yeah.
least, and we'll probably have that. There was the 50th anniversary. It was awesome. I was there 2 weekends. It was way too much, but I'll be there this year. It was fun. It was a fun time. Really.
Do they
Fun.
have booths there?
Yeah, they do. I think they're all sold out. But you want me to check? Is Josh Pop on Zarathon?
You want to go up there and work?
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yes, I do.
Wow. All right,
Let
let me check.
I will stop by your booth and hang out with you.
Isn't today Luke Gygax's birthday?
He's still in Italy though. Yeah, it may be. It may be. I'm not 100% sure.
Let's see.
Yeah. So
Calendar. Oh no. Thursday is okay.
Thursday. Yeah. So I have I'm like I said, I have a project jointly with Luke right now, and he'll be back on. And Jeremy's involved in that. Going to be involved in that too.
Oh, I hadn't heard back on you.
Well, the next meeting's not till the 11th. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, we'll see then.
Absolutely. So I'll check with Josh Pop Zarathon and see if there's any small booths open, because like people like Diesel are there. Elmore. I think Larry retired as of last year, but Larry Elmore's there. All these great people, artists.
That'd be so cool.
Are there. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Maybe she can get one of those artist booths, like they do those for free, right?
Yeah, I'll check because if you, it's such camaraderie. So yeah, I'll check. Yeah, absolutely. So Dan, you said you're looking forward to an Underdark, and then we got some Felicia Day, and we got a sponsor of GaryCon. So Tempest, that'd be great. Just check with him real quick and see if there's any openings for a small booth for Christine. That'd be really cool. Thanks, It's a Casualty. Really appreciate it. All right. So, do you all have?
Jake,
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I use my time to talk more about the AI thing?
Yeah,
instead of answering your last question.
Oh, yeah, sure.
One thing is like these people, you're asking them to make this art, and it's like not a good investment for them, and they could do other things with that money. And they're going to go to these illustrators, these artists, and they're going to ask them to make products for them. And they're going to tell them not to make anything that uses AI. And the artists are going to say, okay, and it's going to be a lie, and they're going to use AI if they've worked it into their workflow in a meaningful way. So it's like, be aware of that too. It's like, and it's like nothing against artists, but like nobody believes in us, and it's fine. We were fine with it. But at the same time, when you're in that position, you're going to do whatever you need to do to survive, especially if you're serious about it. And so, like, you shouldn't think like having an opinion about it and thinking it's important is going to matter to the artists who are being asked to produce this stuff, because, they're playing by a totally different kind of math. And I think that's the only thing I didn't throw in on the first go around.
That's cool. And I know, and we're going to see where it evolves. But I know, for example, we're not having any art in our thing. I know some people are rushing, and they're putting stuff out for $2. Well, you can't spend $1,000 on art, in a publication that you're selling for $2 on DM's Guild, because they're getting half of it, and all the other stuff drawn. You're getting 50 cents each out of that. So it's just.
Well, no, I think artists should definitely be involved in terms of, if they're plugging their work into AI, taking it back out, reworking it, shoving it in again, taking it out. And I know there's some copyright stuff there, but I mean, at the molecular level, I could throw something into Photoshop and just up the resolution, and then that's going to like physically change it into a totally different object, even if it doesn't appear different. So, I know there's some changes coming eventually in terms of the copyright on AI art and the way it gets used and the way, that gets metabolized into society or whatever. And that's an important consideration too. But I don't think it's like really hard for like a knowledgeable artist to sort of change AI art enough to like use it as a benefit where they can quicken their workload, but then also change it enough to like claim copyright on it.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate the input, man. on
That's
that.
everything. I'm not going to be here forever, and I don't have 40 years for people to change their mind on this issue.
I need to be here 40 years because I already promised that I
Yeah,
would have.
we all need to be here 40
Well,
years, Jay, but
I,
it's not going to
I'm
happen.
at adventure number 1077, and the community's like, you have to get to adventure number 2000, and I'm like,
Oh,
okay. It took me
yeah.
43 years to get to number 1000.
Yeah,
All right, but
fucking suck it up, Jay. Suck it up.
This is your life now. Accept it.
I'm trying.
So
We
this
don't
is,
have time for this. Just suck it up.
you know,
Make it happen.
Jeremy, I had no idea that you were so morose.
This is nothing.
Oh, no, I think I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I think, if you have realistic expectations, then you don't have to be disappointed, and then you can be this happy all the time.
Yeah.
So,
With Jeremy.
Look, I delight in morbidity, so it's not like I'm having a bad time here. It's this is what I do. So.
Jeremy has never said no to anything I've asked of him. Bill and I have asked, not once. And I'm going to give you an example going back a few years. We would not, one of our most famous streams every year is, I hit the wrong freaking button. That's Tim cutting out tongue. Hey, geek. Sorry. All right. So, going back, I want to run a joust so bad. And there are no jousting tilt walls or fields anywhere in 3D print. I couldn't find one that worked. And so Bill and I got with, and Jeremy goes, I'll do the outside walls and everything. And then from here, Bill took the pieces Jeremy provided, printed them all up, and then crafted this great piece. And from there, we built around all the other stuff around it. And I got the city of Altamira, look at all the Metro Building Authority stuff in the background, and all in Jeremy's roads, and some other 3D prints and home built trees. And with this, now every year, everyone in the community looks forward to the joust. And I wouldn't be able to do it if he didn't say, yeah, I'll make these up for you. So
yeah, I said something. I don't know if it was something, Jeremy, you already had planned, but I printed up the fences for Eastlingham, and I had said to my oldest son, I was like, oh, the only thing that'd be nice is if there was a gate. And so I DM'd Jeremy in Instagram, and he's like, oh yeah, we got it. I was like, well, man.
Yeah.
I let my son think that it was him that I influenced you in doing it because he's like, you're too powerful.
2 minutes?
Yeah, we do have meetings with Jeremy though, and talk about things we need.
You cast
you
cast a speed spell on me, and I immediately whipped up a whole fucking gate complex.
Yeah, don't tell my son.
For the roads.
He thinks I have juice.
I won't.
You do. Thanks, Patrick. So, do the three of you, I know Jeremy asked a question of Christine, have a question for the other two?
Well, you know what? As somebody who doesn't, do any of the 3D modeling, I'm not an artist that way. And when I use that term, I'm not trying to depreciate the artistic vision and other the artistic talent that you have. So
what you mean the artistic talent that you have?
So what was the thing that you saw in your head and you created that was the wildest thing? The thing that you were like, I don't know if this can be pulled off, but you did it.
Christine?
I did a giant water elemental, not last month, but the month before. And I had this crazy idea that it was instead of this big kind of humanoid looking thing, I wanted this monstrous, just clawing at you, wave crashing, foreboding feeling monster. And if anyone knows my work, I don't sculpt a lot of monsters, let alone a lot of elemental textured
Is this in the background?
Let me see. Yes. Yeah.
Incredible.
And I just thought, I don't know if I can do this, but I have this vision. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try it. And And it actually came out really cool. I like it.
It's awesome.
I like the idea that it's not like this typical like humanoid. It's
Curse.
not like SpongeBob's friend Bubble Boy or anything like, but it's
Right.
like a force of nature
It's mean looking.
ravaging.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice.
absolutely. That's fantastic. Jeremy, what's your answer to that question?
Christine, do you do your illustrations too?
Yeah.
What do you use to make that? Are you rendering out or are you doing something else?
Like for that image, like for the rendering,
Sure.
I'm just rendering it in ZBrush, and then I compile the layers in Photoshop and kind of tweak it until it works.
Oh,
And then I take those individual renders and I put it in Canva, and I
oh,
make the composition for like the poster.
oh, so you're like drawing on Canva then, and then exporting it from there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
And
I
Excellent.
haven't.
Canva is cool because it's like it's a really easy, intuitive way to like combine images and collage things together. Whereas you could do the whole thing in Photoshop, but I'm just not that proficient in Photoshop.
Oh, sure. My wife loves it. I got her iPad and I got her so she could like do that drawing directly on it. And she's really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
brother.
guess I have to. I guess I have to ask her more about it.
So, Jeremy, what's your answer to that?
Oh, what was the question?
Something you did you didn't think you could do. I'm going to tell you what it is for you, and then you can correct me. Those ups,
Oh, yeah, it
all the
sounds good.
stalagmites and stalactites hanging from
Oh,
all over the place. That one.
yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was
I think
nuts.
that's the first thing I saw
Yeah,
of yours. And I didn't know who you were. I didn't know anything about you. And I saw that and I was like, the same son I was talking about, I showed it to him and we were just like blown away because that's is it Out of the Abyss essentially was the inspiration, I imagine.
Yeah. Some people had mentioned that adventure to me. Like, I'm not like a 5e guy.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of drop off a little earlier than that, even though I have
see
some
how far
later
back it is.
stuff.
It's a ways
But yeah,
back.
I looked up the
Yeah.
adventure and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone had actually requested it, and
Yeah.
I had thought about doing it, and I was like, people don't want that. And then someone like mentioned that adventure and requested that I do something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Astounding.
So I use
Yeah.
all this. I use all of this. I love these walls and this keep and all. And Bill the Master Crafter lit up this spot right here. He actually put it so that there's a light outside, which is really cool. But we haven't utilized because we don't do that much Underdark adventuring.
Yeah.
You know, but like this is the associated stuff that goes with this one's awesome. So that was the one that came right to mind was you know, and here's you talking about doing all the. Yeah, doing on a vid, all of it. So it's really intricate and you know, a lot to do, but it's really cool. So I got your into Jeremy Miles from seeing them and winning them on Lord Gazumba. This is our Min from New Zealand, who you met last year at Gary Con. Now I'm buying, printing, and painting too many of them.
Stuff.
Yes, you are. Hey, Rob, good to see you too. Yeah,
so, I resemble that remark.
Yeah, it's exactly it. So, all right, cool. Very, very cool.
I would like to save my time to address a couple other subjects.
Oh my gosh, go for it, man.
I think in terms of like dark elves, I think Mystara has a lot to offer. Their Shadow Elves take is like really interesting if you're not into like the whole like 14-year-old evil girls who are into spiders and you want like a different take on it that's a little less weird.
Okay.
They have Shadow Elves in Mystara, and the whole idea is there was like some kind of nuclear blast that eliminated Blackmoor, which is also a component in that world, and that they were driven underground, and that like certain things happened as a result. They just never came up. And they also have other things happen where, as a result of this radiation, sometimes they have deformed babies that they drop off in this orc city. And then these deformed shadow elves basically grow up to be like leaders within that city, which I think is an interesting concept for that race.
Interesting. Sounds almost like the Sahagwin underwater and originally. Where they
Is
have
Mistara, is that from 2E?
That's the known world.
Mistara's from
It's like it's OD and
BX.
D
Well,
original
they.
D&D.
Well, originally, even though it was absconded by Greyhawk, Isle of Dread and all those were Mystara, right?
Yeah.
All the B series, the X series, are all considered Mystaras. But like a lot of that, there's a lot of pilfering going on. So Gary Julian pulled Isle of Dread right into Greyhawk. There's even an island for it on Anna's map now for it. But yeah, so yeah.
The second thing I want to talk about
Mhm.
is Scarlet Brotherhood. I feel like they're ridiculous and they kind of like destroy the whole Greyhawk thing. There's like so many modernist concepts rolled up into that faction that it doesn't even make any sense. I mean, they're Nazis, they're South Africans, they're Spartans. They they have a worldwide spy network, but none of them ever defect. They have absolute loyalty, even though they're an evil faction. It's just ridiculous, and I feel like it. And it's like no rip on like Sean Reynolds. I feel like he was
This
given
is
a
the book.
suicide
This is
mission.
Sean Reynolds, second edition book. Written
Yeah,
by Sean Reynolds.
suicide mission.
All right, so let me alleviate some things. I barely use the Scarlet Brotherhood in my
I know.
because I can't stand them. When I use them, I kick their ass, right? Because I can't stand this organization. 2, they changed the name in the Dungeon Master's Guide because this is too non-politically correct. They changed them to the Scarlet Order. All right, just so you're aware. 3, make your Greyhawk however you want, and I agree. The Scarlet Brotherhood is a little too crazy.
It's just too much.
It's too
like
much. I agree 100%.
You already got like a demon in the north and like a bunch of undead like running like
that's
the old empire, and then like you have like
Carl's,
this super like James Bond thing going on. It's like
it's Carl Sargent era 2E. We're getting off on the crafting topic there, Jeremy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. But I just wanted. I don't know when I'm gonna like. When am I gonna get a chance to bitch about?
You can bitch me all hell. You bitch me all you want. You know that.
I generally I've enjoyed Greyhawk except for the Scarlet Brotherhood. I find problematic.
And 99% of my streams you've seen, how many have not had the Scarlet Brotherhood in them? Correct?
Oh, 0.
Yes.
0.
1. I had them in 1. One stream I did with Scarlet Brotherhood. So.
But they're still in the books, and I'm just saying. They could be nerfed. They could be nerfed a little bit.
Gary Gaga said, "Make Greyhawk your own," and I've done that, and almost every Greyhawk DM has done that. So yeah, all right.
That's cool, but I still wanted to bitch about it.
Yes,
he's on a roll tonight, which is awesome. All right, so
I've got a question for Ink.
Excellent.
So when you're setting up for games, here's my question: Do you enjoy like seasonal themed games or like holiday themed games? Is that like a thing that you do?
Yes.
And if so, what does that include?
All right, so I'm going to show you something here that happened a week or two ago here. So the irony of this is there is no 3D prints on this table, and you'll be like, oh my God. All right, here, let me show you this. So,
is this the winter game you ran?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I ran a winter game, right? Because I have the underlays from my old sponsor, Stratagem, and all this is hand done by Bill before we had 3D prints. Look at this, all of it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all plastic cut and all. There's my geohex in the back. Here's the top of the hill. Right, it's all, as you can see, it's all Bill work. This is before we had a 3D printer. That's how old this stuff is. Let's see here. Here is a different. This was a 2-parter. I ran one Thursday and then Saturday. We had 2 different adventuring groups go in and do it. And then there's your stuff, Jeremy, under what I needed laid out for going inside. Yeah. So this is the second one. So yes, I love these. Here's the issue. All right. Dan, what's your change out time for a major play? Mine's between 2 and 4 hours to change.
Oh, for setups?
Yeah. More than that?
I have a ping pong table covered with felt. So that's 9x5. And then I have another table in my basement it's 2 6-foot tables, set up together. So I'll have multiple setups on my big table, and and like usually one, possibly two on my other table. So
Yeah. Okay.
because I can't really do any mid-game changes unless I'm just using maps or something.
Agreed. Absolutely. And a lot of people, and this is the thing that do you get this? Because I get this all the time. You're railroading them because there's only one place to go and they can't go off the map or whatever.
Yeah, I hear that, but how many times, and you experience this too, is like maybe the map you set up doesn't even get used because
Yeah.
they do something different, and then you have to improvise. I have like kind of quickly pushed and made room to drop down some D&D tiles or a map fast
Absolutely.
or go theater of the mind.
Yeah. So the answer to that, Christine, is for me, I love them. I always am predicting out now a schedule where Tuesday nights is my change out night. My wife works late that night. My son goes down and helps me in the basement. I actually streamed it last week, and I had like 75 people watching me just change the terrain out. Yeah, I'm serious. I had my son and Michael Zudrak from Frog God Games, who doesn't live far from me, came over and we changed all the terrain out for this week for the Overgord game. That's what we and so we ran it. So it's just I love. The key is the underlays. The underlays make like I can do this and I can pull this off. If I have a green underlay for this, I can't pull off a winter scene even with all those other things, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That the key is the underlays. So I have too many. You see me tripping over them all the time. They're to the left of the table because I have nowhere. They're so heavy because neoprene is heavy, right? Dan, it's super heavy, and I probably have 15 to 20 of them, different ones now. I have two more coming from Italy. Yeah.
I got a funny story about that, Jay. I was telling you about those winter scenes from that company.
Yeah.
And I went and fucking ordered a PVC on accident, and I had to reorder
Well, that's
rubber.
So you messed up.
No, it's all my fault, but it's still a funny story.
It is funny. Because I will not use PVC. I use one. I have one PVC one. All the rest are neoprene.
No, you can't like photograph PVC. It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Thank you, Pip. Thank you, Rachel. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for another great RPG event from Marquee Gaming. Me DMing. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. So, Dan, do you have any other answer to that question from Christine on layouts and stuff?
Well, I live in the Northeast, so autumn here is like spectacular, and I do like to get in some autumn sessions, and I do like seasonal stuff. I think so there's a winter theme campaign for 5e, Rime of the Frost Maiden, and I was interested in running it, but the problem is it becomes like that's the one environment you have, and it could become a slog. So running an entire campaign like set in a frozen environment, for example, doesn't give you, I don't think it gives you the opportunities that a summer, spring, fall campaign would offer. There's more flexibility that way. So they're cool, they're fun to do. Everybody enjoys it if there's a Christmas themed or a wintry theme one near Christmas, and a Halloween autumn theme one. Adventure is great, so it's good to have support for that. You showed earlier, Jay, the Overgord, which I did get, and
oh, cool.
How many people break that out and do a theme, a seasonal theme thing, in October, right? Yeah, it's fantastic. I think, listen, as a DM, what I look for in minis, both minis and terrain, is versatility. What can I use multiple times in different situations? Maybe sometime you're getting a repeat monster or NPC that basically fits the same bill each time you do it. But I want things that I can use a maximal number of times, rearrange things, shuffle them, let a mini stand in for multiple roles, to put on the table. I think that's, I have no shortage really of minis or terrain, but I still like to operate that way. And I think somebody just starting out collecting, it gives them the most bang for their buck that they're able to like use, reuse, reconfigure.
That makes sense.
You
Yeah.
need to, so you got to start small. And I tell everyone, if you think you're going to build up this crazy, amount of, it takes a long time, right?
How long have you been collecting, Jay?
I'm going to say since we started using GeoHex for BattleTech. So that's where it started. And then Miniature Building Authority came around in early 2000s, started getting their buildings. I'm like, I can do cities now with this.
Yeah.
And then if you look at some of our early streams, I don't have underlays. I only have the lichen green top. And other people go, oh, it looks like swamp. And I'm like, man, what am I going to do about this? Got some of the cheesier underlays. And then when I really started getting the neoprene underlays, that really is where it changed. So speaking of that seasonal, here we go. This is last Halloween where I didn't do the overgourd, but I did the wicker ones with Christine's. Here we go. Yep. See all the wicker people out there?
Fantastic.
Yeah. So it was a wicker monster theme, and I did do something immature of my. That's not a good picture here. That's just showing terrain and Jeremy's stuff. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. So yeah, as you can see, look, the hail bays that Bill does, and all there's one of Jeremy's elevations there, and the same piece, and all the wicker creatures coming about. Yeah, so it was a fun one. That we changed it up last year, going back. So yeah, for Halloween, and then that guy was pretty nasty. That creature in the back there. We had fun with it. So yeah, I love doing theme stuff. It's just a matter of in the planning. Do I have the things that I can do to do it, right? And then do I have the time for the change out? Do I have the time? Because how many weeks are my guys available for the week after? This is all the stuff I got, Christine, I got to think of. Like this Thursday, the Thursday after is an Eagles game at Thursday night. None of my guys are going to be here the week after, right? So it's a one shot. Then I have a special group on Saturday. Now I got to figure out what am I going to do Thursday and what am I going to do Saturday, terrain wise, so that I don't have a major change out on Friday. It's like
I wish I had time to drive out there because I would gladly skip an Eagles game to hang out there.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yes, but that's just it's life. It's life as being a sports fan too.
Yeah.
Well, I got special events every Saturday going up through to my surgery. So yep. I love the underlays, but definitely a financial investment. Yes, they are. They are a financial investment. Just get 1 to 2 at a time, Jeremy. That's what you do. I'm talking about Jeremy Asherlier in chat.
Oh, sure.
Just get 1 to 2 at a time. Get what you like. You got Frontline Gaming in California. You have, what's the Russian company?
They're not Russian. They're Lithuanian. Deep cut.
No. The one that's on Amazon, it's Russian.
They're not Russian either.
Oh, they're not? Oh, I thought they were. They're Estonian?
No, they're Albanian or whatever.
War Game Studios.
Yeah. They're not technically Russian, but the problem there is, like, if you can get their stuff off Amazon, it's fine, but otherwise the shipping price.
Yeah.
Like, they have a Hagelands mat that is, it's like your desert Badlands mat.
Right.
But it's like a little creepier, and that thing is awesome, but it's like, you got to pay $70 American to get it shipped over here because of where they're at. So
Cigar Box Battles does like wargaming mats,
sure. Neoprene.
And they're
not neoprene.
They're fleece,
right.
which is cool about that is I put things under them to give to create like hills and
sure. Yeah, they are neat for that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
but I always take in consideration what happens when my guys spill stuff on, because they always do. I do too, because I'm a klutz. So so we go with the neoprene. Neoprene doesn't move either. That's another thing. That sticks pretty tight on the table.
I've tried the fleece stuff, and it's just like I feel like I'm supposed to like wrap it around me and go watch a movie on the couch. I just can't
you can do that after.
Well, yeah, it's like
you can cuddle after.
Right?
That's a great question, though, Christine. Thank you for that. Yeah, I love doing that stuff, and we'll continue to in places. What size do you get your mats in? 4x6. All right, and so here, let me see if I can show you a picture real quick there, Rob. That was from Phantom NJ. I'll show a wide.
4x4 or 4x6.
I always get no 4x4s for me, all 4x6, and I'll show you
Yeah,
why.
sometimes you get stung on extra shipping for that stuff overseas.
Yeah, what's the Italian company I just bought stuff from?
He works War Games.
Yeah, these are going to be awesome. All right, so if you see this here, yeah. Hey, Blue Box! Oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't realize you guys were on. I would have been lurking. Oh my gosh, thank you. Thanks, Rory. My apologies. Good to see it. I talked to John, by the way, this week, and he was supposed to call me back, and he hasn't. So, yeah. But thank you. That was really nice of you guys. Hang out. We're talking crafting. We got some great giveaways. All right. So if you see this lip back here, this is the Bill. This is the Bill and Alan lip. Because you'll when they sit down back here, they're off camera. You hear as Alan puts out 300 dice, right? And he goes through and he separates them out and all. So I need that spot on this side for no. So 4x6 works on an 8x8 table. So I have 8 foot by 6 foot of the table covered, and then on the other side, I really don't have any lip on the other side where Tom and Walt is because they don't ask for it, but they want the opening on that side. So 4x6s work for me, and 2 of them will cover a table like this. They're 2 of the same green ones. And these were War Game Studios. Both these, they're double sided as well. They got like they got like a lake, and then they got desert all on them as well. So both those are double sided. So that's some really nice double sided.
My go to, I have the 6x4. It's Monster Fight Club, and it's got grass, but there's a kind of like areas of grass that are a little like, gravelly, and then on the flip side it's like barren, so it could be like Badlands or
perfect.
And that's neoprene.
Yeah, I have a couple that I'm gonna for inner city flip over. I use for Narwhal and also for BattleTech City fighting, which we haven't done yet. But I have the double-sided ones that actually have some city base sets you can put build up buildings on. So we'll see if that works. Jay is blessed to have Bill. Yes, I am, and he should be on any minute now. Hopefully, I have a player in my group that paints and buys minis. So thankful for him. Yes, it's a casualty, absolutely, because it's a team effort here, 100%.
Hey Dan, do you have any interest in like integrating your film making into like the terrain stuff you're doing now?
I mean, it would be fun. It's been a decade since I got out of making.
Yeah,
film.
I don't accept that because like I quit doing art for 10 years before I started doing this.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can just do it. It's
Yeah.
okay. There's like nobody's holding your feet to the fire or whatever. I remember when I started doing this stuff, like I'd go on Reddit and people would tell me, "Are you in 8th grade? Are you retarded?" Because I was like learning like a whole new thing.
You can't say that word.
Well,
Jeremy,
I mean, they said it.
I apologize for.
Said it.
I apologize for Jeremy. You should not say it.
I'm just saying what they said on. Reddit
I understand you're repeating what someone said.
Modeling.
You didn't call anyone that. You're just repeating what someone said. So there you go.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's like, it's don't be afraid of it. Is all I'm saying.
No, you know what?
It's okay to like take a break and do some other stuff.
We had a tremendous support, group, like crew, like that I worked with, and ultimately what happened was, we like people were starting their families and less time, and getting the money for the projects was getting harder, and so I always said I would get out while it was still fun, and I didn't want to I didn't want to like become bitter and jaded about it, which I didn't. So that, then I turned, to writing. How's that for crafting?
Oh, sure.
Which again is that's its own challenge, because again, there's so much competition out there.
Sure.
But the beautiful thing is I get to, be creative every week, with the collaborative storytelling and doing terrain setups where, with the great minis and great terrain.
It's fun, isn't it?
It
Yeah.
is. It really
It's
really
so
is.
much fun, and it is work, right? It is like a lot of work, but like I want to be known as the best D&D stream on Twitch with the best terrain.
Yeah.
Period. That's it, terrain and minis, and that's it. And that's what we strive to do. And and Jeremy and our second 3D print sponsor, sir, the Printing Goes Ever On, man. The stuff that they're bringing out miniature wise is beautiful monsters, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it's Lord of the Rings based, but it's easily adaptable. Bill's adapting it all, so we want to be on the cutting edge of bringing out the new stuff. And I can't get stuff out as quickly as Jay's Tabletop does on a post, but it's just a post. It's not a play.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. So, yeah. So I want to ask Christine a question on the Wardens because this set we're using, as I said, and we're having our people pick from some of these minis coming up for new firsts. They're going to be in Altamira, and please, like I said, free download of the Free City of Altamira. If you haven't gotten it, here's the download link for it, and there's a couple other great modules from Cannonball Publishing you can get there too. The woman the in the back with I guess the ASMR or Angel is there a way to have her without wings?
No.
Okay.
Actually, kind of. The answer is kind of.
Okay.
I sculpted her, and then I sculpted a variant of her. So it's the same model. She doesn't have wings, and she has a totally different outfit. It's more like a rogue kind of outfit.
Cool.
But there is a variant of her that exists, and there's a variant of I think all of them, except for maybe Gregory. So there's a pack of variants of the Warden set, so you can get.
Are they available in the store?
Yeah, well, they're on the My Mini Factory shop.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get
Christine,
both then.
can I ask you something? So I remember in the 90s, seeing like I forget who put it out, Jay, maybe you remember, but they would do, it was like 3 minis in a pack, and it was supposed to be the same character.
Ralph Partha.
Yeah, okay,
Stage,
and they
three
did that.
stage.
And so doing it in stages, but I thought like would be cool is if somebody were producing, something similar to that, but also include, other options like the prone option, the seated option,
That'd be cool.
the casual wear option. I mean, I'm sure that's like more work than I can even begin to imagine. But, since I don't have to do it, just whip that up real quick if you would. Like that sort of thing. I know like people go crazy, like they buy dice just for whatever character.
Yeah.
So, and
That's
having
I have a set of dice for each of my characters that's like specific.
So Dan, by the way, Lord Gazumba himself is a 3-stage mini from the Wizard set from Ralph Partha. That one on the left there.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
Fun.
and that's his best friend Hawk. There you go. So, yep.
So Jeremy, when are you gonna sculpt the town for Beetlejuice?
Never. I never.
Why?
Why? Because I just kind of do my own thing. It's funny you ask that because one of my commercial, someone who like sponsors or someone who gets my stuff and then prints a commercial. I was talking to him and he's like, "Well, I'm sure you'll be busy next week because like the new Star Wars movie's coming out." And I'm like, "I don't give a shit." And I mean,
There's a new Star Wars movie?
no, I was like in the past or something.
Oh.
It's probably like
He's like, yeah, he's
it was
like,
I was like,
probably
really?
some episode
yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it's a precarious thing to be the division between art and illustration is very thin, and sometimes it crosses over when you have like conceptual artists, and I don't know how you get that job or what kind of river of shit you need to crawl through to attain that goal. But those are the kind of people who like do illustration, but then are also very conceptual.
Yep.
at the same time. And, you know, I just kind of live in that world where, you know, sometimes I'll do a poll and see what people want.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'll just like follow whatever like shiny object gets thrown out in front of me.
it's
And, you
usually
know,
Bill and me.
yeah, or like one of my subscribers might suggest something, and I'm always totally up if an idea catches my
Let's
eye
talk
to
about
just do that.
yeah. Let's talk about this piece because you're going to see this at GaryCon. You're going to see this on our table shortly. This is Jeremy's rendering. Bill's working on his own. There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, an example of not a very popular idea. And I
Freaking
mean,
awesome.
my Underdark stuff wasn't particularly popular either, but people stuck with me even though they weren't necessarily into it
Let me see if Bill
because I was
has.
like very anti-spider.
Let me see if Bill has him on his site as he's working this. Oh look, Eagles. One sec. Bill the Master Crafter.
So
He should be
Actually,
no,
happy.
the last piece
it'll
is something I was considering
No.
printing for
he
my
doesn't.
Dragonlance game.
Yeah.
So
This and this is 4 levels. This is bigger than it looks.
Yeah, it's 3 plus a roof. It's like one of those
Yeah.
things that'll be more popular as time goes on, which is
All
sometimes how it rolls.
they're all playable. That's the thing that Jeremy
Yeah.
does. You open it up, level 1's playable. You open it up, level 2, level 3, and the top. They're all playable with miniatures. That's what I love
Yeah.
about his stuff.
Every
So,
level is
yeah.
8 inches by 22,
Yeah.
so there's like a shitload of room in there to like run around, even with walls and doors and stuff.
Absolutely.
So how long does that entire thing take to print? Because I mean, printing the ruins and the buttes were like, man, that was time consuming.
Right. What Dan isn't telling you is that he has one of the new kinds of speed printers with like 200 millimeter wall speeds and 600 travel time millimeters per second. So by time consuming, he means 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was printing around the clock. I would set it up
but
before
you got it
leaving.
printed in 2 weeks with one
I-
printer.
All right.
Like you're not from the dark ages like me, where it was like an unimaginable hell to like get that much stuff printed. So
Honestly,
I mean,
I would love something like that, like for a Hogwarts or Strixhaven school setting, to be able to have multiple levels to like run the characters around in the school.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
The FDM stuff has jumped big time in the last, and a lot of these companies were quick to like shove this stuff out 2 years ago, and it wasn't quite there. But in the time since, they've come around a lot more. Most of the people I work with have bamboo printers that are super fast, and like I've been forced to buy Crealities, and they've made some significant jumps in the software to the point where you know, something that used to take 24 hours now takes 5.5 hours, which is a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
At first, it was only like double, but just on the software shifts, they were able to get it down to like 3.5 times.
Here he comes. Bill!
So
Bill.
Yeah, my friend who owns Centron3D was the one who recommended the FlashForge. 5M, and because he said that's like fast, and I was like, okay. So I mean, I'm glad that was the first thing I experienced because
all right, you missed a whole pit of hell. This print right here, this is like a barn that barely fits on an 8x8.
Here, let me move it to a bigger screen.
Printer.
Yeah.
So up here, I got a double split roof. Each side of this roof takes 5 hours. This thing was 3 hours. This thing was 6.5 hours. The whole bottom part here.
And look,
that's not the large. Is that the large barn for Eastlingham?
No, it's one I just released. It's halfway between the small and the large.
Ah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Is that?
So you got?
Yeah. I gotta get that one.
Yeah.
So
you got 10 hours right here between 2
Yep.
printers. So, I mean, the whole thing ends up taking 24 hours. Like printers we had 2 years ago, I wouldn't even bother making this.
Right, because 20
Wouldn't
hours for each
bother.
piece. Yep.
All right, so
It'd be a
that's something
60-hour
that's
print.
changed with the technology.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And we're looking into getting, deciding if we're going to get one, a new one to speed it up. Bill, do you have the new tower there? And by the way, Bill Mastercraft, everyone, why don't you introduce yourself and thanks for
Ask
got-
him all the questions we had.
Yeah, I
to
apologize for
answer.
being late, but my son's hockey is never ending. You mean the big church?
Yeah, this is Bill's version. Where do you see some of the stuff? Yeah, look at how big it is. You can't tell by the picture there.
No, that's massive.
Yeah, it's big.
Look what you. Yes, so that's it. And look. See the statue Bill put inside? Yeah, he does all sorts of little, and also show him some.
Yeah, I added little knights to the parapets. And
Yes, because it's going to be the Church of the Red Knight in my game. Even though I ported Red Knight over to Greyhawk.
Yeah,
So.
I was thinking about using that for the end of Dragonland Shadow of the Dragon Queen, where there's essentially the flying citadel, and that was what I was looking at using.
All right, Bill, Jeremy, I'm gonna ask a couple questions to Jeremy that everyone else got. Like, what's the biggest thing that's happened in the last year, and what are you most proud of, or are you looking forward to? How about answer those two real quick? Biggest thing that changed in the last year.
And you're directing that to Jeremy or to me?
To you.
Oh, to you.
Oh, to me. Well, I mean, I haven't done a lot of big terrain this year as much. I have stuff in process, but I haven't put a lot out. But the amount of 3D, especially
What about
resin
the cemetery? You did the cemetery in the last year.
Yeah, well, I have a big cemetery I haven't finished yet. It's a 2x2 board that I'm doing that has lights and fog and everything else in it, but haven't quite finished it. But there's always something on that. There's always something on the burner. But just the the availability of stuff that you can 3D print now is incredible. I mean, there isn't anything you can't find. Whether you're looking for terrain or you're looking for monsters or you're looking for,
here's
player characters.
Here's Bill's Instagram.
It's there's a ton of stuff out there. And if you can imagine it with the combination of scratch build and 3D build, there isn't anything you can't build today.
Yeah. And like, for example, this is a scratch build still. He's still doing scratch builds here and there. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's just foam and balsa wood.
Yep. Absolutely.
Then there's combinations like above the Baba Yaga's hut. That's a set of legs from Loot Studios, and I scratch built the house.
Yep, and that's for a new first as well. Yep.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
then I have a smaller version I'm working on right now.
And this big hut, this is one of Jeremy's right there, right?
That's the house. Yep,
That's
the house and then the barn that goes with it.
Yep. So all coming.
Yeah, that's a nice scratch build on top of the roof.
Yeah, and all I did with those, Jeremy, to be honest, it's just it's Mod Podged, and I just mix different static grasses together and tamp it on there.
Nice.
And I'll mix a little bit of other flock on there and some crafting leaves just to add a little aging to it.
Yeah, it's
So-
nice
I just
to
like to look
let
at
people
the
see
natural
that that's an
material.
option.
So Brevin, good point. I have zero artistic talent. Okay, being a DM is, if you count that, that's one thing. But one thing that Dan has artistic talent because he's doing a lot of the painting, crafting. I don't have that, and without Bill, we don't have a stream, right? So just note that, right, Bill? You're the man.
Well, well, it would just look different. That's all.
Yeah,
It'd still
true,
be a
true.
stream. Look different.
Right.
But I mean, how much time? It really depends on the week. Between a full-time job and my son's sports schedule with hockey, it's I mean, it really varies. There's some weeks I don't get to touch paints or craft at all, and there's other weeks where I may put in 20 hours. So it just varies. This week, I put a bunch of time in because I got a lot of little things I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of printing and painting for the interior of the church,
I
just
love
trying to fill it in on the inside.
I
So,
love that piece, Jeremy. I love that piece. Love
Jace,
love
or
that.
Bill's
oh, the
just
older Hobbit
being
house. Yeah.
modest.
Yeah, I
I've been
love that
watching
piece.
old episodes, and Bill was pretty important
Always.
in those old days.
Yep.
Those first few years when you didn't have anyone else and you had to have someone come on and talk about doing terrain stuff, and he was kind of all you had.
Look, that's
It's
the
a pretty
number one
big deal.
change. 3D printing has changed our world because we had Miniature Building Authority buildings, and then we had some other. We had miniatures, and Reaper's a great company still, and all dark. We bought a
Sure.
lot of dark swords back in the day. Lots of metal minis. We used to require a metal mini for every player character. No plastic.
Not the case
Not
anymore.
the case anymore.
Yeah.
We had to go away from that. So
Resin is kind of taken over for that.
So, Bill, one thing about that Christine said to me was for the Warden set, right? Which is great. Let me just throw that up here as we're
Yes.
catching Bill up. There are alternates for them, alternate sculpts that we can get both of them. So, yeah, so we'll get that and the alternate sculpts for like the one.
Well, I know we have the Warden set.
We need to get the. We need to get the
Kyle
alternate sculpt.
informs me that he didn't upload them, so I'm going to taskmaster him to do that
Yeah,
tomorrow.
please, because we'll get them immediately because we want the alternate sculpts. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
have them up tomorrow.
Awesome. Perfect. That's fantastic. Yeah, we definitely want to get them. All right. So, audience questions. Bill, do you have any questions for the three? Have you met Dan before? Have you met Dan?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever been on the stream before. I mean, I've seen him on the. You've had him on the show once or twice before. But,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm very familiar with his Instagram. So
yeah, definitely. It's wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. So, all right, here we go. Here comes. Which printer would you recommend for someone starting out printing STLs? Jeremy first, and we'll go around.
In terms of like the FDM stuff,
Yeah,
I would suggest the Bamboo. They have a cheap printer, and it's, from what I understand, it sounds reliable. And
BMBU, not BOO, BMBU.
yeah, everyone I've met really loves it. So I think that's a pretty solid hit. If you're in a cold area and you're printing in your garage, you might want to look at Creality's K1C because that's going to give you a full closed-in set for like $400. In terms of resin, I just pick up a cheap Elegoo and see how you like it. Maybe the Mars 5. And try it out before you get a bigger one because it's a lot of mess. And those are my suggestions.
Awesome. Dan, what are you using, and do you have any
The
recommendations?
briefest I've been tonight.
Yes.
So when I was doing this, my friend, people, maybe some of your folks know D&D terrain builds.
Yes.
And Tom said the Bamboo was great. It's really user friendly and idiot proof. And I thought, I'm an idiot. That's what I need. So, but I looked, and so the price was like $500, and I was like, you know what? I have enough terrain. I don't know that I'm going to spend $500. And so again, John from Centron 3D suggested the FlashForge Adventurer 5M, and I looked it on Amazon. It was $299, and I said, okay, that's what I'm going to get. And I have not regretted it. It's been
Awesome.
super easy. I'm not a particularly techie person, so I mean, I was up and running immediately.
Christine, that's fantastic, and I appreciate that. That's one I haven't heard of before. That's cool. Christine, how about for miniatures?
Well, we run 2 FDM printers, and yeah, I definitely like the Bamboo printers. The A1 is a good choice, I would say.
Okay.
For resin printers, we just. Oh yeah, the A1 mini is only about $180, so you can get like the mini version of it for pretty inexpensive, and just try it out if you're not printing a whole lot of stuff or you don't need like a massive build plate. But for resin printers, we had frozen printers for a long time, and we just switched them all out for Saturns a couple months ago, and we love them. The self-leveling and the peel, the way that they
Jenny.
peel is like so cool, and the print is like 3 times faster than our frozen printers, so they have saved us a lot of time while we were prepping for ReaperCon.
Excellent. We got Punk Rock Jenny watching too, which is great because she's like the coolest DM I know. She's cooler. She's cooler than me.
One thing I'll throw in on Dan's suggestion is if a lot of people haven't heard of FlashForge, they're actually when MakerBot made a bunch of like dual extruder printers that didn't work back in 2012 and 2013. FlashForge was the first Chinese company to rip them off and do a version of it that actually worked. So they do have a long history. They're just like not necessarily up in front, but they do have a long history of doing stuff that works well.
Bill, we're running only our resin now, right? It was down 2 weeks because the thing broke and it got resin everywhere, right?
Yeah, we're just running a Mars 2. I mean, it's a small printer, but I'm not printing terrain on it because printing terrain on resin is just not economically feasible. I mean, it looks great, but it can be fragile and it just costs too much. But yeah, I mean, for what I'm printing, my little Mars 2, which are $100 printers now, it works great. And I just use the water soluble resin, still the water washable resin, because it's easy cleanup. You just have to. I keep a separate water tank for it because it's not really. It can be a little toxic, and then I put it outside, let it cure, and then dispose of it and separate it. So
yeah, excellent. Great question. Filament wise, someone asked about filament, and I just think it's just preference, right? You got to find out what you like.
You buy what's cheap.
You buy what's cheap for yeah.
If you're running hyperfilament, which most people are now with the speed printers, Elegoo sells really cheap stuff. There's also a company called Slicer Works with an X that John out of Centurion 3D uses. I know he uses them. They're out of California and they sell 10 bundle packs for 110, 120, sometimes $100 for gray, black, and white. So that's Slicer Works. Take a look at what they got. And the deal isn't going to be right on front. You got to hunt for it and like search around to like find the 10-pack deal. And then other than that, I've been happy with, like I said, Elegoo, Hyperfilament. They have some decent prices on that. So you're not paying $25 a roll or whatever.
Yeah, I got 13. If you're doing it not on reorder on Amazon, I do this black fill, 1,000 grams, $13.99 from Sunlu, Sunlu.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a decent brand too.
Yeah, we use a lot of Sunlu.
I mean, the stuff is solid. Like prints come out really nice.
Is there a color that works better for printing terrain? That
black.
Saves time. Black. Okay,
everything
not gray.
Else is a waste of time. No.
Black. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that way for detail purposes?
Just for speed painting purposes, because like your bricks and whatever already have like their darkest color.
Okay.
If you miss something with your primer that's already covered because it's black, there's like a million fucking reasons. Use black.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
The other little newbie point I would say that is a lesson I had to learn the hard way many times was if you can get the filament on a plastic spool instead of cardboard, do that, because the cardboard like bends and warps and then it doesn't roll right in the thing and it's such a pain in the butt and I hate it.
Okay.
Yeah. One thing I'll mention about resin printing also that people don't think about is consider the advantages of transparent resin. Because a lot of times, and even my models, when I do resin stuff, there'll be like little pockets and stuff. And if you do white or transparent, the light is going to shoot through all that and harden it up, and you don't have to worry about tiny pockets of like wet resin inside your models. And you're going to paint them anyways, so who cares? Just do like transparent or white.
Okay. Excellent. All right. What other questions we have for the audience here? Because you know, Jeremy's obviously done with me asking them everything. So I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. So
Man, I'm still waiting for the list of words you were going to send me that I can't say.
you should know them by now.
I live in Kentucky. We don't live by those
You
rules.
should know, after all this time. You should, yeah. So yes, exactly. Bye, Christine. Christine, please link all your everyone. Feel free to link all your stuff in chat, please. I know I have shout outs.
I don't
but
even
keep
see
on
the
linking.
chat window.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't.
What was a difficult print or a problem a project you had? How's that sound? How's that, Varl? A problem project, Bill. A problem project. But I'm going to say the
Anyone you give me a deadline for.
How about the Infinite Dimensions Stadium?
That was big. Yeah, that was just that was a huge project. I mean, you have pictures of that.
Of course, I have pictures. It's the biggest.
That was a monster. And you know, it looks great on the table. It's a problem to transport, so it's never leaving your house to go anywhere.
No, it can't. It can't. That's why I like here, Grand Mili Altamira. I'll show front view, side view. Here we go. This thing, this is Infinite Dimensions, and we parted ways with them because they're in Canada. It's just a problem. I mean, look, that's the side view of it with miniatures on there. But look at the detail down here. It's crazy, like the stands and all on this one. This took
That's
6
incredible.
months. 6 months. Yeah.
I mean, I probably have. There was probably 80 to 100 hours put into it.
Yeah. And just look at the front. He's got the ultraviolet colors on it, and he's got a little graphic, a little really great touches. Let me see if I find the Aqua Regia side. One sec. That is so cool on the side. This one. There. Yeah, look at that. I mean, isn't that great stand? It's just cool. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, really. That was a commercial for one of our adventuring groups. They have a vineyard called the Aqua Legio, the Water of the Legion. So it's
so
selling wine at the
Coliseum. That would be it for Bill. That was the most challenging one because it is so huge, and he based it up and all, and so.
Wait, so is that an addition or that's part of the print?
No, that's all that.
That's part of the print.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, that's part of the print.
Yeah, but then the adornments and all that. That's all Bill. So.
Yeah.
The next biggest one was definitely probably the ruined fortress, the Wolfmaster Keep. You use it for Strand Castle.
Oh my God! Yeah, well, that's when Jeremy put us on crazy missions, right? I'd have to find that one. That's 220 pieces. Armin printed it and uses it, right? Armin, he did it. So there's two of them we know in existence. Yeah, so Armin actually printed it out. How many months did that take you, Armin? Yeah, that was a bear. Yeah, that was a long time on that one.
Yeah, because a friend of the channel printed it for us. So
it was Mike Saxton did it.
Mike Saxton.
Yeah, it was just like, can you print this? He's like, oh my God, I got 6 printers going for a month. He had it going for a month, right? Jeremy doesn't do those kind of sculpts anymore, but it was awesome. So, who was all coming to GaryCon? There you go. We'll get to that. Yes, Bill and Master Crafter and Jeremy's sponsored already. A sponsor there, Garner and Christine. I sent you a message in Discord to email them about inquiry about an artist booth. Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
Yep. So, anyway, what are crazy projects everyone have that were like challenging? You got anything?
We printed like a 3-foot ship from Arcane Minis. It's all, FDM printed, but like it was a 3-foot ship and it took so freaking long. And there's like so many pieces. We do use it for our game. It's like the central hub where all of our characters go back to after each adventure. So like we're
Yeah.
getting its use out of it, but man, that was crazy for printing.
So, Dan, you got a large project? Like, oh my God.
Well, you know what? The ruins I just printed out
Yeah.
from GameScape3d. I laid out my mat and just like I kept printing and then like drawing out little sketches to see what I needed to continue to print to ultimately achieve like the vision. So, I kept saying, all right, I think I'm good. I think I'm done. And then I'm like, no, I need another end cap, or you know what? Now I want to connect these roadways. So, yeah, I can't remember if that's the final outcome, because I may still have had some foundation stuff to print in there, but no big project right now. Looking forward into the Underdark, yes, but this one, really was massive, and I had to I was painting as I printed so I could keep up on it, because that can be overwhelming too, having a bunch of unpainted terrain, and then you get beat down. So I mean, really, the next project is painting up the Eastlingham village. But I still have to, but I would like to be able to print out that medium-sized barn.
Yeah. So we have a question in chat also about slicing. Like when it's too big for the print bed, what's the best way to? Is there a better way to slice?
A lot of the new slicers actually have slicing built into them, so you can cut a model in parts.
Okay.
My stuff is all going to be 220 max. So if
8
you're
inch?
having a problem, yeah, 8 inch.
8
Well, it's a
inch.
little over 8 inch.
Okay.
But if you turn off some of your some of the printing stuff like wraps and things like that, it should open up some more of the print bed, so you reach that 220 mark. Uh, if it if that isn't there, there should be like a slicing mechanism. If that is not there, if you're like working with really old stuff, I would download the Builder 3D software from Microsoft. You'll probably have to go to a third-party download site, and that will have slicer abilities on it, so you can cut a model in half and print it out in smaller parts.
Yeah, in the Flash Forge, there's little icons, for tools, similar to Photoshop, in that way. At least that's, what I can relate it to. And, you can get in and you can slice it diagonally, horizontally, vertically, and do it. I had some terrible luck with doing that, though, with a massive print from Printable Scenery. It's beautiful. It was beautiful. Shadowfey Ruins, and I just think it was the first large thing, really large thing I was printing, and so I was deciding to slice it, into pieces, so that I didn't have to print out like 8 pieces. I could just print out 4 pieces, and that was a mistake. So, if the models come in a bunch of pieces, print them out and glue them together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good points. I think it's been an evolution for everyone on how to do and how not to. I know Bill's had serious challenges, and you said the FDM or whatever the printers we have now, we're not even using the Gold Crealities anymore because they're just junk, right? So we've learned from it. So
They're more work than it's worth.
Yeah. So, question about gluing large together. Yeah, you can use. So, what is the best way to glue large terrain together? Not Bill, modeling clay, right? To glue large terrain together.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you're trying to glue together.
Right.
If you're just putting buildings together, I'll be honest. I use cheap dollar store gel glue, or I'll get it in Harbor Freight or at the dollar store.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm putting together filament terrain. It's fine. It lasts.
There you go.
And resin, same thing. I use regular gel super glue.
Cool.
You know, if
Excellent.
you're doing
Good
plastic
question.
minis, that's different. You should use a plastic glue, but because it melts them together. But yeah, for the most part, I just use gel super glue.
Fantastic. I know we're getting close on time here, so I don't want to keep you guys
They
too
have
late.
they have some other tools like the cheap Chinese super glue is good, and I use it all the time. In my lab, I also have plastic soldering tools, and generally it's like a soldering iron that has a big triangle bit on the end of it. And we also have
Yep.
3D printing pens that we use to glue 3D prints together.
Jeremy, why don't you tell everyone what you do, if you don't mind, for a living, so that they understand?
I just come on here and embarrass you.
You work at a university, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I've been in isolation my whole life on universities.
Yeah.
And currently, I run a 3,000 square foot makerspace facility that I designed at Murray State University in Kentucky. We have a fully ventilated 3D printer closet. It's about 25 feet long with 25 speed printers in it and a few older printers in it and a handful of resin printers as well. Laser cutter, podcasting booth, and a series of computers with high end 3D modeling software, Adobe products and things like that on them. We have some soldering stuff in there and then some, other basic things like UV and 3D scanners and sewing machines, things of that nature.
Cool, man.
So I have to talk to people every day and I have to be careful about what I say, despite what this episode may have revealed about me.
It's all good. It's all good. So, let's say this. What are you actually? We kind of talked about it a little bit, but like through 2020, what are you looking forward to in 2025? All right, I know you've already said some things. So let's go around the table.
The biggest thing I need in terms of myself and the community, and the biggest chance I think I've taken this year is talking about the AI stuff on this episode right now.
Got it.
That is
Yeah.
top priority. I need people to like hit the fast forward button on that shit. I understand that there's issues. There's issues in fine art. There's issues in illustration. There's issues across the board. But I need people to like fast forward on it and understand that we're not here forever. And like, what can we do with these tools we have to help the communities we're in and push things in a meaningful way?
So to close out that Jeremy discussion here, if you guys know, we just had Virtual GradCon 5, right? And Anna, and I want to share a couple of her things because I want to share where this is going to hopefully tie into Jeremy of how we're collaborating. So this is Anna's unbelievable maps. Like this is crit wall in the Shieldlands. I mean, look at the level of detail on this, right? As it goes down, you can just blow it up on the maps, right? So it's just crazy stuff. Look, she's even doing renderings of views from the city in a way. I mean, this is how nuts the map making is becoming, where you're getting these renderings. But she has some things that she is doing, like this takedown for the borders and the keeps all nearby, and all that. These are off of her map. You can see the blowout area. Here's crit wall, and here's the blowout map area of where these are. Here it is down here, and here are the keeps. As you go down, you can see that they're actually on the map. So what we're going to try and do in this project I have going with Luke Gygax for Mel's Guide to the Borderlands of Ayus, we're going to try and convert. Anna's going to make a map area, a small village, and Jeremy's going to hopefully have all the buildings in 3D.
Wait, what am I doing?
You already know about this. We're gonna so that's the whole point. We're gonna actually have a download map pack, and we're gonna have a download 3D print pack as addendums to the actual book. So, and that's the thing. We're going to all try and tie it in so that we have all the crafting involved in this publication. So, just some wonderful stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that's the future's open wide. Exactly, Tafari's. It's open wide. So, Dan, what are your thoughts?
Well, 2025, I've finished my so I said I got away from filmmaking. I finished a novel, and looking, I'm currently looking for agents, or publishing house. But next year I'm going to decide, if traditional publishing isn't going to be possible,
Understood.
looking at crowdsourced funding the adventure story that I've written. So it's called The Blade Slinger. It's a standalone fantasy novel. You don't have to know thousands of years of history. You can be spun up on page one. I call it's a Western and a fantasy world.
Oh, cool.
That's not the name, but that's the vibe.
Oh, well, I hope the best of luck. Please keep us in touch with which direction you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're Troller Games does a lot of Kickstarters, and they're very successful in them, and that may be the best way to go. So if you need advice from them, I can always tie you into Steven Chenault or Chuck it there, and they can help you out.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course.
I've always had an itch to do a Western thing also. So, if anything's appropriate.
Mike Saxton's printing out a ton of Western stuff because he's got a Western game about to go. So he printed out a bunch of. I don't know where they came from, Mike. If you're still on, let me know, because I know I saw some of your posts on them. They're really good. They're really cool.
Like I was playing around with the idea at some point, doing a weekly Instagram reading, not to keep posted, but and doing some tie-in terrain setups, which is one of the reasons why I was printing out some of those apocalyptic buttes, because there's a bit of a southwestern flavor to the landscape.
Dan, people like to know how the pudding is made, right? So that would be cool, man. Even if you just did it on Instagram or wherever you did it, because I'm telling you, I've done it twice. I've done 2 terrain setup teardowns and setups, and they've both been one Saturday morning and one on a Tuesday night. They've been hugely popular. And we do a giveaway during them all, and we talk and BS as we're going about it. But it's a fun, it's a cool thing. Yeah, absolutely. Keep it in mind.
I got an old Palisade fort that I did, and people were always like I thought it was a medieval thing, and people are always like, when are you gonna stop doing country western stuff? So if you want that, I'm happy to pass it along.
There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome. Christine, how about you?
Well, this year we've gotten into some local game stores.
Oh, yes, I have that picture.
We did, I think we're in 5 game stores now in total. And that's across the US, and then we have one in Canada. So
there you go.
That's been really exciting.
Yeah.
And we've been looking at expanding.
Like even Felicia Day liked it.
I know. We've been looking at expanding our game store presence, and hopefully do that a lot more next year.
I have a store down in Delaware, the Days and Nights. I think they would be really into this. They love carrying miniatures. So if you need me to make a connection, let me. Yeah, I'll talk to them next time I'm down there in Delaware. Right, Bill? I have a ton of miniatures. Yeah.
Are you happy with the manufacturing and all that stuff?
Well, I do all the manufacturing, so yes.
Oh, you do? Oh, I thought they had something set up for that, through what is it called on My Manufactory?
No. I mean, they do have only games, but we don't use them at all. We do all of our own printing and packaging, and we ship it all out. So.
Oh, cool.
It's all been checked by me personally, I promise.
Nice.
That is awesome. Very, very cool. All right, Bill. I know what you're looking forward to next year.
I'm going to take an extended break from crafting. No, I'd say
that's what he's looking forward to
for 25. I'm excited. The growing gaming community, especially for Greyhawk, see what's going to come out of the Dungeon Master's Guide coming out. See what the community and what inspiration that's going to give people to build.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to GaryCon. It'll be the first major convention I've ever been to, so that's going to be exciting. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to meeting people when I'm out there. That's the big thing.
That's it. We're gonna have a blast. Really have a blast this year.
Yeah, we wanted to do more cons next year also. We were trying to get into Adepticon, but did not get in time, unfortunately. But we're looking at a different one that's in May. That's in San Marcos, I believe. I forget the name of it. But we're trying to look at other conventions for next year because apparently that's the thing to do. Be at conventions.
Actually, I just found out, I go each year, my family, we go down to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They've got theater, Sight and Sound, which, each year they do, we're Christians, so they'll do like a play. This year it was Daniel, but I just learned that they have Historicon down there.
Historicon.
And friend said that was really good. So I was like, let me time our next trip down to go to that, and maybe since we'll rent a place, maybe I'll bring some terrain and see about running the game.
Well, if you're there, literally Bill and I are an hour and 15 minutes away. We just in South Jersey. Yeah. Yeah, man. We'll hang.
Well, I hit Jersey on the way back because I have to go to Newark, New Jersey for Dickie D's, home of the Italian style hot dog.
Nice. Well, you got to go through South Jersey because it's a different country between North and South Jersey.
Yes,
so
yes.
But
but we're
seriously,
2 hours south, and it's a different world.
Yeah, but definitely, man. If you're
let's plan on that then.
Let's do it, man. Absolutely. You just tell me the dates and we'll set it up. Like, for example, Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo, which I know a lot of people are going to, the second year of it is in third weekend in January this year coming up. They had it last year, the first weekend, which was too close to the holidays. They moved it to third. There's a lot of people there going. Troller Games is coming out because they're one of the sponsors of it, and they're all coming to my house probably the night before it starts on Wednesday to play in the basement. So yeah, come one, come all, man. Yeah, love to see you. Love that.
And Christine, if you want to take a run at Adepticon next year, like let me know, because I'm like kind of 4 or 5 hours away from that. So if you want to crash here, you can meet my wife, who's much more enjoyable than me. And we got a guest bedroom, so maybe if you want to
awesome.
split something, let's take a look at that.
Isn't Adepticon the same weekend as GaryCon, or they move it this year? Because last couple years.
This year it's a different week.
It's a different week. Okay.
Sometimes it's like
it was on a different week this year too.
Yeah, my family's not from Chicago, but slightly outside of it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was commuting from his parents' house to GaryCon last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you've seen Groundhog Day, that's a town called Woodstock, and that's where I'm from.
Oh, wow.
I didn't share this, and I have to. This is how Jeremy spoils the hell out of me. You ready? This is what he brought for me, and this is 2 boxes missing because I had them for the weekend before. This is what he brought for me for GaryCon last year. Oh shit! I hit the wrong button. I did your ad. Frickin' ball.
And if you don't want to do Adepticon, they have another con that same organization has another con in Louisville. Like a month and a half before, so you can look at that too.
What's in the boxes?
Oh, terrain. All the terrain I use, like the Greenwood. That's that Greenwood a game for 2 drink minimum. All the setups and all. Yeah, like here's the Underdark Road one. Yeah, and this is. Yeah, it's insane.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was nuts. And then one more. So the weekend before was. GaryCon 2024 picks. I will show this because if Curtis is on, he'll get a laugh out of it. The weekend before was Founders and Legends, and so we had a good weekend of terrain I ran Forgotten Temple of Tharsden for multiple days straight. So here is my good friend Todd Stashwick and me playing as he's playing at my table there. And there's Ann in the background. There's Curtis and Brett. I know I had to do it. Yes. Yes. There's Curtis with the ponytail and Brett. And there we are playing Tharsden with Todd. So that's more Jeremy's stuff out there on the table that we utilized that first weekend.
Got a cool set.
Yeah, the catacombs. I love the catacomb set. Here's a mix between two of them going in, some blow up pictures of the terrain for that. And this was all, like I said, wonderful first weekend of Gary Con. Yeah. Um, one of Jay's meeples. Oh man, is that worse than being a, is that, and here's the arena that we use for puppets. And I'm going to use this at Page as well. There's the arena, and there's a nice underlay that Jeremy brought for me. But yeah, so that's the better than taking the arena that our arena and Bill and something happened to it and Bill killing me. So yeah, much better than that. So there you go. That's some of the wonderful things that we did at Gary Con this last year. I don't know if I have any pictures of you, Jeremy. You were hiding all the time.
I'm not into pictures. I'm half Aborigine.
Yeah, you're hiding out.
Just
So,
like roll
so
with
there
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Garner's on. So one here, Garner. I'll see if I can find one. I know I got one with you, and then we'll call it here. Here we go. Here you go. There's myself, Garner, who's on Category Gaming, Todd Stashwick, and Keith Baker for playing his new board game out, and that should be out any day now. That went in Kickstarter and was successful, so we're playing there, and that's in the lounge there. So yeah, that was.
I don't think anybody's done a really good file or even a file for an Eberron airship. Speaking of Keith Baker.
Yeah, I think Keith would love that. Absolutely.
I would love it. Eberron is like one of my favorite campaign settings.
Yeah, that would be something cool too. Definitely. So, closing thoughts. Who wants to start? Because I know I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. I've kept you over time already. So, closing thoughts. Bill,
This is how Southern people say goodbye. They say, "Oh, do you want to go? Let me start your car for you." "Oh, don't go. I'll start your car for you."
I don't, Jeremy. That went right over my head though. But dude.
Oh, like you tell people,
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Okay.
I want you to stay forever. "Oh wait, can I start your car for you?" Like that's like a Southern thing. Or
So
you like
get the
offer to people's, get the door and start the car for them, while you tell them that you want them to stay forever, while you open the door and start the car for them.
We just say, get the hell out.
I stand corrected, Jeremy. Yeah. I stand corrected. You had a great talk with the other Jeremy, Tony Winslow, Brill's boyfriend, right? Remember when we couldn't get the internet connection because we were in the club?
That Jeremy.
That's
we we hung out for a while.
Yeah, so he just said we had a great conversation Saturday morning. Yeah, so there you go. He's in chat right now. So.
Yeah. Normally, I hate people named Jeremy, and I told him that because that's my name. But we got along wonderfully.
Absolutely.
No explanation. No reasonable explanation.
No reasonable, but that's okay. I'm looking forward to this year. Trust me, I am. Bill, what do you got in closing there? Here comes 20 sides to every story. What's up, Alex?
I'll just say from the crafter side, don't be afraid to try anything. You can start your crafting career at a dollar store.
True.
You can do a lot of builds by buying cheap foam and everything right at dollar store. Don't be afraid to try it. If you mess it up, it's from the dollar store. Throw it away and start over. So, you want to build terrain, you got to start somewhere. There's a ton of great tutorials and makers out there. Watch the videos, use YouTube, and just enjoy yourself.
So, we have pieces of terrain that go back to the 90s, and we have one called Boggy Creek, which is a little.
I hate every one of them.
Well, Boggy Creek is did you ever see the Legend of Boggy Creek? It was like a swamp-based Bigfoot one with Travis Crabtree, and also we have this piece that, and every time we have a swamp scene, I go, I have to put Boggy Creek on the table, right, Bill? And that thing's what 30 years old plus.
Yeah, it's just a piece of MDF board that has flock and black painted glue on it.
But
it's terrible.
But it's what do you call it? Tradition.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Alex. I'm trying to type yours in. I put my name in because I'm an idiot. So there you go. Jeez. All right. So Christine and Dan, any closing thoughts?
Not just thank you. It was real nice meeting y'all and being able to spend some time with you.
keep in touch. I'm going to get you to do the Greyhawk Underdark instead of Forgotten Realms Underdark 100%, man. Trust me, when this, I will immediately get you the link for the Underdark Visions 4 when it comes out, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this stuff is gold. It's like 100 plus pages of
Right on.
Underdark goodness, and then all the Malden stuff, I'll link you to that too, and you'll be like, oh, this is a no-brainer. So,
Cool.
all right, cool, man. Christine.
Yeah. So we're getting into game stores. If you like my minis and you have a local game store, let them know that you want them to carry our minis. I'm actually doing a thing where I'm sculpting a very special version of Lunette for anyone who successfully gets our minis into a game store.
Oh, nice. That's really cool.
Yeah, so Lunette gave out a quest. And so if you complete the quest and get minis into your game store, then you get the special quest giver Lunette, and I'm gonna sculpt her and ship her off to you. So that'll be super fun.
You're Texas-based now, correct?
Yeah, I live
Yeah.
in Kerrville.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yes, Christine's based in Texas now, so close enough to get to Reaper every year pretty easily.
Yeah,
The Reaper Con.
it's only about 5-6 hours from
There you
me.
go. But that's the one. That's the one for you as
That's
far
the
as
one.
cons. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. So there you go on that, Garner. So real quick here, I'm packing in as much as I can before my surgery. Everyone knows that. So just note that we're really trying to crank out some content. So this week I have 5 or 6 streams. I'm losing my mind here a little bit. Let me just stack these up here. They're out of order. So tomorrow night we have a special session 0 tomorrow night at 7:30. We got a brand new player, so we're gonna session 0 her. And I got all the wrong ones up. Well, that's Ed. He's Sunday. So let me. Give me 1 second here. I'm on the wrong thing. I wasn't prepared.
Jay, you didn't ask me if I had any last words.
I did, and you went first.
Why didn't you? No, I didn't.
What's your last words? Go ahead. What's your last words?
I was just going to point out that you didn't ask me what was.
I did. You went first.
I didn't go first.
Okay, well.
There's 4 other people here. Did I go first? Did anyone hear any last words?
I thought you did.
Yes. She went first and last. So who's my new player? My new player right here. This is the Bone Baddies, and that's Pufftastic. Part of she's a new player for us. Session 0 for the Bone Baddies that are Saturday morning. For the rest of the group, they'll be all on there. She'll do her character generation. I'll give her a little taste of Greyhawk. That's tomorrow night, 7:30 to 8:30. Just an hour. Just when I do Session 0, just an hour to get on Monday. Wednesday, I don't know where it is. Wednesday, we're doing games within the game. We're going to talk about Dragon Chess and all Church of the Big Gamble, everything. We're going to do that on Wednesday. I'll have a stream Thursday. I'll have a game Thursday night. It'll be ship-based. I don't know where I put all these other ones. They're lost to time. Of course, I lost them. And my apologies here for not being prepared here. That's 11/16, 11/9. Okay, yeah. So Saturday, November 9th, 1 p.m. is the game, 1 to 5 with the Bone Baddies. No name on that still. And then Ed Greenwood is on Gabbin next Sunday. Heroes and heroines of Greyhawk in the Realm. So Anna will be back. Anna only takes off during these great crafter streams discussions. So let's do the giveaways. All right. You must have a 3D printer to win the wonderful giveaway from Jeremy, which is the entire STL set. I will just link it to you, and that is this. The November. There you go. The Lighthouse set, which is awesome. We have the Lighthouse done in ours, and that is going to be the main giveaway. All right.
That's the only way you can get it. Is here.
Yep, that's it. That's it, because we're not. Yep, he's not selling it because
it's an exclusive Kickstarter giveaway.
Yep,
so.
Absolutely. All right, here we go. Going to close these out, and then we'll raid into Darling. We'll go in with around 100 people, which is always awesome. Here we go. Closing it out. First winner is 491 Phantom. Dennis, you got a 3D printer? Let me know. If not, you're going to get a $10 gift certificate to Troller Games. So let me know, Dennis. No printer yet. All right, so you want it'll give you the $10 gift certificate to Troller Games. 2000 Caesar. Man, he's on a freaking roll. Caesar, I think you're getting one for Christmas, correct? If I recall.
Start stocking up now.
He already is, I believe. Yeah. See, I know it's crazy, isn't it? Caesar's just like on a roll here. You already have it. Okay, you already have it. So Caesar, you get a $10 gift certificate to Troller Games. Next winner is gonna have a printer. If you don't have one, you're SOL. Sorry. We got all right. So there we go. Next winner is.
Third time's the charm.
Yep. Vamp Wickman. Chad. Chad, are you running a 3D printer now? Chad Johannes. Vamp. It's Chad. I don't know if Chad's on still. I don't think Chad has one. You do. All right, Chad. I'm going to get it to you. I'll link it to you. Awesome. Congrats, Chad. Congratulations. Thank you all for a wonderful. We were top D&D stream of the night. Appreciate it. You're all wonderful. Let's do this more. We should do it every 6 months, not every year. Really should, because the trends are changing so much more quickly. We should do this again very soon, and then we'll have some other shows coming up. And I really, really thank you all for coming on. This was a blast. All right,
Hey, Christine, if you got like seriously, if you got some con stuff up by me that you guys are doing, and you need to split things, let's talk about it, because we're not really direct competitors. So if there's like something that would work, I'm cool with it.
Same thing, Dan. You talk to Jeremy anytime, man, with ideas, because he's always looking for ideas, right?
Oh man, that guy won't leave me alone.
Oh, that's awesome. So we'll see you all tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern EST tomorrow night. Here we go. I hit the wrong button. I did. Shit. Oh my god, I had way too many wrong buttons tonight. Let me set the raid up, please. Oh my gosh. Oh. Raid. Darling's pushing for partner, everyone, so hopefully she gets it.
Huh.
And that's, Christine, that's awesome, because we definitely want those alternate sculpts so we get some variety choices for our players for the next new group of firsts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night. Raid set. We are in. Let's make sure we're good. Yeah. So we are in with 90. Awesome. Thank you. I am open at any point for any of you to reach out to me with ideas, collabs. You need assistance with something, you want to play in a game, you just reach out to me at any time. And if you're going to be in the area, yes, always, try and make myself available.
I think HistoriCon's in July, so.
Yeah, it is. I'll be there. You just tell me where, what days you're going to be there. You're going to go there next year, and absolutely.
Well, is it like a weekend?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that like I said, we've been going down. This will be our 3rd year. If you've never been to Sight and Sound, whether you're Christian or not, that place it's unbelievable, the performance.
Major productions. Yep.
Yeah. So man, if I can
What do they do there?
2 things that I really love.
Yeah. I've never DM'd at Historicon. They've had it there, and they've had it at Valley Forge, the Valley Forge Convention Center too. They've had it at both places, and sometimes they have 2 a year depending on what they're doing. And they have one in the fall / winter area, and they do it in the Valley Forge. So there's possibility that and there's other ones across the country too. It's HMSG, I think, is the group. Something they have a group name, a site name where they do Historicon, and that's a big one. And a lot of people, like Miniature Building Authority, always goes to them. He sells a boatload of stuff at those. It's just with my schedule and all the other stuff going on, vacation at that time of the year, and all the other cons, I have the wife limit of how many cons I can go away. Yeah. But I can go there for a day, or I can go there for one night. That won't be a problem. Absolutely. Yeah. So, that'd be a blast, man. Definitely. So I really appreciate you all coming on and sharing your experiences tonight.
Okay, shut up.
Did your surgery is next week, you said?
18th.
The 18th. All right, brother. I'll be praying for you, my man.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting a little nervous. I've never had
Yeah.
a major organ removed. Christine, I
I'll
got
pray for you too, and I don't normally do that.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. It's a little scary. So yeah,
Yeah, I
What
know.
is it that you're
I,
doing?
I have I have prostate cancer.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's in
It's
its
a little
early
extra.
phases, but I'm getting my prostate fully removed coming up. Yeah,
Yeah.
on the 18th of November. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's
Okay,
why.
well,
Well, that's why I've been pushing in a ton of content now because I don't know how long I'm going to be out. Probably be out at least 2 full weeks without streaming. Maybe I'll be able to talk show here and there, but yeah, it just depends.
Yeah.
yeah.
The old recovery time was 4 weeks with the 5 cut technique, but they're only doing 1 cut now with the robot. So I'm hoping that it's a little bit quicker. Yeah.
Yeah, always, you know what, go in expecting a little longer and then be surprised if
Shorter, yeah.
it's less. But you know what, it'd be a great opportunity time to like catch up on any reading or
Well, so I have this project with Luke Gygax, Mel's Guide to Greyhawk, the first book one,
yeah.
the Borderlands of Ayus. And so myself, a couple community members like Anna, Les, Roger Moore's involved, Ed Greenwood's involved. Larry Elmore is going to do some artwork for us. So it's a big undertaking and we want to have it done. It's like 128 pages. We're going to have it done by Gary Con next year. That's the goal.
Wow.
So and it's going to be gritty, old school Greyhawk thrown back into this 5e now. Yeah, so I am so excited about this. We had to wait till they re-announced DM's Guild up. Luke's like full tilt on this. So that next meeting's the 11th because he's in Italy now. So yeah.
That's so exciting though.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever thought that I would be writing Greyhawk content when I was a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or playing with Ed or doing all that stuff. I mean, it's just yeah. So
yeah, your
Living the dream.
teenage self would have been thrilled.
Living the dream, except this has been the worst health year for me. Because I'm walking with this too. Both cortisone shots aren't working anymore. My hips are awful with arthritis. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get both hips replaced next year too.
Oh God.
Yeah. I'm gonna be robotic.
Hey, I had a friend who had to have one replaced, and I tell you what, like he was like walking in a couple days.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
but they got to do them like 6 months apart, though. They want so it's gonna
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get both of them done eventually. But yeah, so
yep.
So I just keep Bill chained in the basement. We'll get work done. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Hey, Dan, let me know if you want to do some film stuff. If you need some money, let me know.
If you've got, listen, if you have any ideas or something, I mean, like,
yeah,
Well, I don't have any ideas. I'm not a film guy. You're very modest. Like on the show about your experience, and that's nice and all, but you're not not a person who did shit.
Yeah, I was like years ago. I was one of 12,000 directors chosen for Steven Spielberg.
Yeah,
because I've been in the top 100 of his TV show On the Lot, and then I kept going because I didn't progress any further with that. But I was always talking with investors, and ultimately, I mean, I was like kickstarting projects. I had a patron, for short films, but my brother and we had like just a great throwback like Invasion of the Body Snatchers style, old wine in new bottle comedy horror. It was like solid script, but like ultimately most of the people we talked to, it was like it was just like sexy for them to say, tell their golf buddies that they were, considering film. It was like,
sure.
So, it's like D&D. It's a collaborative storytelling effort, and I enjoy that aspect of it.
I have to ask you about your shelves back there. Like,
this is my
what is
wife's
happening?
office, and they're books she got on Etsy, where somebody takes and folds the books.
That's cool.
That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, that is neat. That's neat art.
Yeah. So they're I don't know where maybe she gets them from library sales, and then she sells them. So my wife's in publishing. Unfortunately, not in scientific journals and stuff. So there's no inroads there for my novel, but
Can't sleep your way to the top of that one, huh?
Yeah.
Christine, I sent you a second message about paint and take. There's a meeting Thursday the 7th at 1. Send an email when you can to the sales at GaryCon saying you'd be interested in that too, I think.
Okay,
And
yeah.
Oh,
both.
nice.
Yeah, the Darling, because I know Darling's involved in that, and I just cut and paste what they sent to me in Discord to you. All right, right
Perfect.
there.
Yeah.
For GaryCon.
We did
Yeah.
we sponsored the paint and take for KublaCon this year.
Yeah.
The guy just reached out to me. He was like, "I love your minis. Would you want to, help us with a paint and take?" And I was like, "Sure. Just let me know what minis you want. I'll
Excellent.
send you files." So we did that, and he was like, "It was such a big hit. Everyone, like, he was telling me which ones were the favorites, and like
Mm.
that some of these people, it was their first time painting, and they were able to like finish a whole figure, and they felt really great about it. I just love that. Like, I just love getting to hear the stories about how people use them and like experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This community is not as big as you think, right? And,
Right,
we
yeah.
gotta. That's it. That's why I love doing these, just to connect everyone. So, please reach out to me anytime.
Yeah.
Dan, especially on Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Greyhawk. Right, Bill? Greyhawk Underdark.
Great. Yeah. Well, yeah. The Underdark stuff. Is it Visions or Visions 4? Right.
Visions 4, but all the mountain stuff too, man. Right? All the levels and stuff off of Night Below and all. Oh my God, crazies. These. I don't know how.
There's
Yeah.
the hardest part of the communities are there's a ton of stuff out there, but there's no great aggregator of where to find it.
Right.
And that's
You just need to know.
where Cannon Fire and stuff is, and getting a hold of the community members, because there's a ton of resources out there, but
Or having shows
it's
about
just fine.
them. That's what
Yeah.
we try and do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because Malden's website's the oldest Greyhawk D&D website, still up, and it had its 25th anniversary last year. We did a special show on it, and like he comes on all the time on Legends and Lore. He actually wrote the map for 3rd edition for Greyhawk City that was in Living Greyhawk Journal Gazette. That's his. He actually changed. Yeah. So yeah. He's done a lot of work for it. He actually also has his own land on the Greyhawk map called Melcott, which it didn't make the new Schley one, but the 3rd edition one. It's in the Lazaretti maps. Yeah, because
so cool.
he's friends with Eric Mona. So there you go. Eric's like, yeah, it's in. So yeah, yeah. So it's cool stuff. We'll see
Thank
you all.
you guys for having me.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm gonna crash.
We'll look for the warden. We'll look for the alternate wardens. Yeah, please get some sleep, and we'll download them
I
and
will
get
have
them.
alternate wardens up tomorrow. I promise.
Awesome. Dan,
And I'll
thanks.
send you it directly.
Later, everyone.
See ya. Jeremy, thank
Take
you,
care.
man. Christine, thank
Hey,
you.
sorry about saying the wrong word.
That's all right, man. It was a one-shot
talking
deal.
about-
I have to say something immediately.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I have to say
Just
something immediately.
embarrassing for me to not think about it.
Yeah, he said
I was
retarded.
just talking about like my personal experience.
I understand that. So I don't get the left-wing nuts down on me. I immediately have to say something. That's all.
Yeah.
Alan did
Yeah.
it like 4 years ago, and he went, "Oh, what's wrong with that?" And I had to immediately remember that when he said the word retarded. I was like, "You can't say that, man."
Yeah.
It's all right, dude.
Well,
And
I
you
mean, I
said you
wasn't
said it.
implying-
You were relaying what someone else said to you, which is okay.
Yeah.
But I still
Yeah.
gotta. There's things I gotta. That's it. I'm
Yeah.
not being a dick or anything. I'm protecting.
No, I'm just
protecting
saying,
my
I'm sorry
the enterprise. Yeah, it's all right, dude. Don't worry.
I'm sorry about putting you in that position.
It's okay,
I didn't
man.
mean to.
It's not a big deal. I took care of it.
Yeah, I know.
I am the man. I know, dude. Trust me. I know. I know there's going to be a point where a guest on one of my games, is going to say something really ridiculous. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I can't
Yeah.
control everyone,
Yeah,
and someone's
sure.
going to, even say, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Someone's going to say something sexually graphic, and I'm going to
Yeah.
have to immediately go, we can't say that here. And I apologize to the audience. It's going to happen, man. It's part of streaming. So don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
All right.
I love you, man.
Thanks, man.
Right, Bill? Where would we be without Jeremy?
Oh, jeez, you'd be fine, man. You got so many awesome guests. You guys would be somewhere. You'd be somewhere.
Can't look at it that way,
Yeah,
man.
But I'm happy
we
to
found
be
a
a part
partner,
of it.
We found a
different.
partner.
Yeah.
Getting someone's prints is one thing. Having a partner is a whole different thing, man.
Yeah. Well, I've enjoyed being a part of it.
That's
Sure.
it, man. And we're gonna keep it rolling.
Yeah.
So, all right, you're good. All right, I got to roll because I got to piss.
Yeah, I hear you.
I got to
Yeah,
piss.
Jay,
All right,
hang
everyone.
on for a second.
All right, sounds good. Jeremy, I'll see you
See ya.
soon, man. Thanks.
All right,
All
man.
All right, bye. So, Bill, you don't know if you're on Thursday or not?
I should be good. I should be good. Yeah, we had Cherie lost her job. So,
Oh God, really? After all those years?
yeah, 24 years. Yep.
Jesus, I know the feeling, man.
Yep.
That fucker.
So that was well. We knew this was coming, but we thought we would make it to the spring before. They had 22 employees a year and a half ago, and they're now down to 6.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
All right, I'll let Meredith know, and we're gonna do Hardby, and I'm gonna do a one shot. I have to do a one shot because no one, next week's the Eagles game.
yeah, and it's an Eagles game is next.
And then I'm out after that. I don't know when I'll be back. So yeah,
right.
I have 2 Saturday streams coming up. This Saturday, next Saturday, games, and then this Thursday. So I'm gonna do Hardby. I think I'll do Hitless Swords, make it easy, and we're just gonna do It's called Locate the Illustrious. So we're gonna use the big Reaper ship. It's been seen adrift in the Woolly Bay, and it shouldn't be. There you go.
Right. Gotcha.
It's not a Michael
Sounds
Baton one.
good.
Yeah. So
Not Michael Baton.
not Michael Baton. Not at least at the beginning. Maybe he'll show up at the end of it, so you guys got to run. But at the beginning, no Michael Baton's involved in the adventure.
That.
Cool, man. Did you? Thanks for letting me know. I'll tell Meredith right now. So.
Yeah. It was kind of shitty, but these things happen in life.
They do. And thanks for getting on, man. I know it was a rush. So.
Yeah, well, that's what it became a nightmare this morning. It was kind of
let's switch around. Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, they weren't when the GT wasn't thinking, that the high school season was still going to be going on, and they had games at 11 o'clock, and more than half the kids couldn't make the game.
So what's the point in scheduling them?
High school.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, well, all the games for 10 and 11 are moved to 7 and 8. It's like, okay, well, it's fine. It is what it is.
All right, dude. Well, I got to piss now. I got to take a dump too. It feels like. So I'm down 13 pounds, by the way.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm trying. So, trying my best.
Cool.
All right, man. So, I just I got these new underlay mats. There's an underlay mats coming from Italy, but they got delayed. Man, that one with the shoreline, full length. Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, the full length.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
Yeah, I got that, and I got the other. Yeah.
Beach rating.
Yep. Be better for Carlos's.
Excellent.
All right, man. I gotta go.
Well, you go. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, man. So I'll see you.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Oh my God. Dude, I gotta piss real bad. Just a little bit on her longsword, right? Like she's like, nope, I can't kill him. Not yet.